I guess Kevin's not going to get me a screen here in front of me. That's good.
Ready to go. Trinity in their road white uniforms, all white, green numerals, green helmet. St. X, Tony, interesting combo. Gold jerseys, green pants, green numeral, and the traditional white helmet for the Tigers. Carson Hilbert will kick it away. Trinity won the toss and deferred. Tigers will be heading toward the baseball field when they get the ball for the first time. Kyle Krupp, Marlon Harbin, deep for St. X, standing at the goal line. Hilbert approaches, booms it, and it'll be Tiger ball first and 10 at the 20 as it's 3/4 of the way in the back of the end zone. Trinity won last year twice, 45-10 in the regular season, 38-14 in the playoffs. And as I said, Tigers coming off a very difficult loss at Elder last week in Cincinnati, a last-second field goal. They lost it 17-15. That coming on the heels of a overtime loss to the Male Bulldogs. So the Tigers trying to turn things around here, and they'll start first and 10. And Tony, Karsten Bush is a tight end in the backfield. How about that? Didn't see that coming. Mason Trimble, the junior, takes a snap, gives it to Harbin, running right. He's got a lot of room around the right side. He's at the 40. He's got one man to beat. He's going to beat him. 30, 20, touchdown, Tigers, 80 yards on the opening play.
Was just a handoff off the right side. I was watching Bush. He went inside, took the linebacker out of the play, and Marlon Harbin just outran the Trinity defense down the sideline for the first play of the game. It's just a handoff, John, off the right side, and Marlon Harbin bounces it to the sideline, and it's a foot race, and Marlon wins the foot race. So 11:48 on the board, Tigers strike first.
12 seconds into this one, the Tigers have the lead. Logan Zoller will come in for the extra point. Kukla is the freshman snapper, Oliver Kukla, and Anthony Barbee will hold it. Good snap, good hold. It's always dangerous in this weather, but no problem. Zoller kicks it through. Well, let's catch our breath. 11:48 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Tigers. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience more than $3 million in tuition assistance. Experience a world-class campus. Experience 29 advanced placement courses. Experience the brotherhood.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, and Jim. 7-0 Tigers after one play, 80-yard run for Marlon Harbin. And Logan Zoller will kick it off for the Tigers. Zach Floyd and Christopher Wilson are deep for the Shamrocks, standing inside their 5-yard line. Boy, that is a quick punch to the gut if you're the Trinity Shamrocks, Tony.
It sure is, John. Marlon's only averaging 80 a carry tonight.
Zoller with the kick, high, not going to make it to the end zone. And this is Floyd taking it at the 8-yard line. He's up the right hash mark. He's outside the 30 and hauled down from behind out near the 38-yard line. Pursuit tackle that time from Cooper Roggenkamp. And Trinity will start first and 10 at their own 39-yard line. The quarterback, the sophomore, Zane Johnson. He started as a freshman last year. And again, 4-1 this year. He will send two receivers to the left. Barry is the running back, and talking to the referee, he gave him his gloves. The referee tosses them towards the sideline. Pistol formation. Now you got two tight ends to the left, two receivers to the left. Ball on the right hash mark. Quick handoff to Barry, he's running outside, and he's got some room. He's across the 45, out near the first down marker before he's pushed out of bounds and thrown down there by Miles Dobson. Tigers may be lucky not to get a flag there, but it's a gain of about 9 yards out to the 49. They actually spotted it at the 40 to start this drive. It'll be second and short. Well, they put it at the 46. I guess he got pushed out of bounds earlier.
Yeah, you were watching the referee on the other side. But over here, the Tigers, one thing they haven't done really well this year is get outside on that at handoff to the outside of the tackle. And a nice run by Jeremiah Lynn, but Miles Dobson makes the tackle.
Second down at about 4. Same formation here. Now man in motion from left to right. Looks like a running play. It is to Barry again. Gets outside, and he's hauled down after a gain of about a yard. Ekins sort of made him cut it back inside, and then Ben Pinkston came through along with Luka Bentz to make the tackle. It's a gain of 1 to the 47. Third down and 3 for the Rocks.
Now, if you're the St. X outside linebackers, you have to stay at home. Trinity has a tendency to want to fake the handoff, the sweep like that, and roll the opposite side. You have to keep your responsibilities and play. Don't make the big play. Stay at home. Make the right play.
Johnson sends Jason Hagan, the sophomore, wide to the left. We haven't seen, Tony, Jeremiah Lynn just yet. He is, again, nursing a shoulder injury. Third down and 3. Shotgun for Johnson. Tigers almost come offside, and there's the flag. Boy, I didn't think he did.
I didn't think he did either.
But it's going to be a 5-yard penalty that gives Trinity an automatic first down in St. X territory at the 48-yard line.
Just being aggressive. St. X's best defensive lineman, I won't mention the name, but just leaned a little bit, and that gives Trinity it gives them an easy first down without running a play on third down.
Ethan Harris nose tackle here on 1st and 10. Craig Bird is on one side. High snap, but good job by Johnson to bring it down. Hitting the backfield was Barry. Luka Bentz made the tackle, but Craig Bird was the first Tiger to get there and forced him to bounce it outside. It's no gain on the play, maybe a half yard, second down and 9.
Actually, Bird came clean. He hit him in the backfield, couldn't get him down, but the rest of the Tigers there for the 1-yard gain by the Rocks. So 7-0 if you just joined us. A Marlon Harbin 80-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. Trinity has the ball at the Tiger 47.
Hagan comes wide to the left. Slotted receiver that way as well. Shotgun for Johnson. Takes a snap, play action, throws a little short one to the tight end. Cuts outside, back inside. This is going to be down near the first down is Zach Floyd, listed as a running back. He was sort of in an H-back position there, and he's got the first down at the 37-yard line.
Looks like Mason Shear might have been holding out on the outside on the pass on the St. X defender, but no call. Ball goes down to Tiger 37.
St. X coaches were yelling for the hold, but no flag, and it's a first down. Opening drive for Trinity after the Tigers went 80 yards in one play.
And I thought it was holding. It was out in the flat, so it wasn't inside, and the referee decided that he did not hang on to him, so Trinity gets the first down.
One receiver each way. Jamari and Barry in the backfield. Behind Johnson. Schoen goes in motion as a tight end. Hand off to Barry. He trips and falls. Turf Monster got him. The 40-yard line tripped him. He fell short of the original line of scrimmage. He'll lose about a half yard. It'll be second down, and we'll call it a long 10 here.
Well, they gave him a little more than I think he should have got there. He stumbled, fell forward, but so we're going to call it no gain on the play. Just a little handoff to the inside. And
second down, and it appears that Trinity wants to run the football today, Tony. They think they can make headway, especially on the interior, it looks like. Johnson, play action, rolls left. Pressure came from Bush. He hit Schoen out of the backfield, who got down near the 32-33. Miles Dobson on the tackle, but Karsten Bush made Johnson get rid of that one quickly.
Just what I was talking about earlier. You have to stay at home as the outside defensive end or outside linebacker, and Bush did that. As soon as the fake went the other way, Bush got up the field and made Johnson throw it quickly. The safety, Miles Dobson, comes up, makes the tackle. So 3rd and 5 at the 32-yard line of the Tigers.
Two receivers to the right. Hagan's the widest. One receiver to the left. Johnson has Barry in the backfield with him to his right. Takes a snap, rolls right. Wants to throw right. Has a man, caught, first down inside the 25 and pushed out of bounds. Rocco Pointer made the tackle. First catch of the night for the sophomore Jason Hagan. And Trinity's down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10.
Good job by Hagan. He ran pointer down, knew where the down marker was, cut off his route, and came back in a good throw by Zane Johnson rolling out to his right.
1st and 10, Trinity. 7:13 to go here in the first quarter. Tigers lead at 7-0. Pistol formation. Barry stands behind Johnson. He gets the call. Barry up the middle. He's got a little bit of yardage, but it shuts off quickly. Pinkston, Ekins, Brennan Garr all in on the tackle. They'll spot it just outside the 20. We'll give them a gain of 3, bring up a 2nd down and 7. And Trinity's run the ball on 1st down, Tony, every time in this drive.
They have. I don't know if it's the conditions and they're just trying to get their feet. Maybe they think they can run the ball. But when you hear 2 defensive linemen's names being called on a tackle, that's what you want to hear if you're a defensive coordinator.
2nd down, a long 7 here for Trinity, just outside the 20. Floyd is in the backfield now. This time Johnson wants to throw it. Straight drop. He's got time. It breaks down now, and he is going to be hauled down by Luca Bentz all the way back at the 35-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the 31, but it's a sack for the Tiger defense and a coverage sack.
Well, they brought the outside linebacker, Bentz, who usually drops into coverage. So he came and he got clean, and St. Johnson trying to get away from him, ran back, and I don't know why they blew the whistle there.
30-yard line, they'll give him, it's still a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 17.
He was trying to get away from Bentz when he got tackled, boy. So a break for the Rocks.
3 receivers stacked to the left, 1 to the right. That's Hagan. Tigers show 4 at the line of scrimmage. They bring 4. And it is getting away from Bush. There is a flag down. Here's an open receiver at the 10, but I think this one's coming back.
I think Karsten Bush got held.
Caleb Warner made the catch, the sophomore, and got inside the 5-yard line, but that's going to be a hold, and it's going to be all for naught for the Shamrocks. They'll bring this one back, and you're right, Karsten Bush got sort of tackled there.
Well, he almost got Zane Johnson, too. He hit his foot. I thought he was going to get him down in the backfield, but as he was going, he just got drugged to the ground. So it's going to be a holding penalty on the Rocks, so that's going to move him back even farther. And they have a great kicker in Hilbert, and now with the sack and the penalty, Trinity's backing themselves up.
All the way back to the 40. They were at the 20 at one point on this drive, and it is 3rd down and 27. Tony, what do you got in the playbook for 3rd and 27? I'm going to guess a screen pass, try to get 10 yards and maybe give your kicker a shot.
Well, you got to be careful if you're the Tigers. You got to drop, keep them in front of you. That's the main thing.
4 receivers in there. Floyd in the backfield. He stays in to help block. Rolling right is Johnson. Looks deep, throws deep toward the end zone. It is tipped and intercepted. I think. Oh, that's the best thing that could have happened. It looked like James Burnett had it, came to the ground. Then it kind of looked like the receiver had a shot at it. That was Hagan, but the referee said it hit the ground. So instead of the Tigers starting 1st and 10 at their own 1, it's going to lead to a Trinity punt. We think.
Something good, something bad could have. And you brought something up to me before the game.
That's interesting.
The kicker and the punter is number 9. The quarterback is number 9, which I think is kind of, But Trinity will go for it. It's going to be a quick kick, I'm going to guess, John.
Well, maybe that's the punter in there, number 9. Same green shoes, so I think it's still Johnson. Tigers jump off sides. Wow, you can't do that. Because now that moves it to the 35. Now it still would be a 52-yard attempt.
They're not even really – Tigers have to relax a little bit on that D-line. Just make sure the play is going to be run. And
yeah,
now,
no reason to jump offside there. And now they're leaving the offense out there.
It's still 4th and 22.
At the 35-yard line.
Now safeties have to get deep here.
Barry's in the backfield with Johnson. Takes the snap, straight drop, pressure up the middle. They throw the long one. It's intercepted. You got to knock it down. Intercepted at the 5 or the 6, so Dobson picks it off. But if Miles Dobson just knocks that one into the 3rd row, the Tigers have the ball at the 35-yard line. And you got to know that.
It's basically a 30-yard loss on an interception. So, yeah, the ball's overthrown.
But the defense stops.
They did.
5:20 to go in the quarter. 7-0 Tigers. They'll take over at their own 6-yard line after the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, but that flip-flops the field, and that puts you in a tight spot back there if you can't get out of it, and then the field's going to get flipped back to Trinity. You're right, John. I know what Miles Dobson did. He's playing defensive back. He sees the ball. He wants to catch it. But you're right. You have to know the situation. It's 4th down. You don't have to catch it.
So Trimble brings his offense out on the field, and he will stand on the goal line to take this first snap.
I'd give it to Harbin.
It worked once. Marlin is in at running back. I will say Karsten Bush is not in. 3 receivers in the pattern, high snap. Marlin takes it, runs into the middle of the line, gets a yard, maybe 2, out near the 7. Give him a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 10. John Wilson, linebacker, senior, came in and made the tackle.
Well, John, it's a great play by Dobson, but it's
not a heads-up play.
It's a killer. It's a killer because you'd have the ball out here in great field position. Instead, you got your back against the wall.
2nd down and 9. Harbin in the backfield. Bush is back in there now. And Marlin does get the call again, running left into a pile of yellow and white jerseys. Not much there, maybe a yard to the 8. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Tigers.
Yeah, and if you're the Tigers, you don't want to make a mistake here. So you run the ball twice, and then you got to worry about, if you don't get a first down here, punting the football out of your own end zone.
3 receivers to the right. Lucas Shelton is the widest. It is a 5-receiver pattern. Even Miller Cron, the tight end, is in the slot. Trimble alone in the backfield on 3rd down and 8.
Quarterback draw?
I would think so. Takes a snap. Quick throw to the left. Caught. Getting outside and going to be brought down short of the first down marker at the 14-yard line. Just a quick out to Kyle Krupp. Barbee was out there to help block for him, but the Tigers are going to have to kick it away.
They did a good job out there. Barbee actually did a pretty good job of blocking. Krupp bounced to the outside. He just couldn't get to the down marker, and now you're going to be standing at your own goal line to punt it away. In these conditions, that's got to worry you.
And the left footer, Logan Blanco, will kick it away. He stands on his own goal line. Mason Shearer is deep for Trinity. And the Tigers draw them off sides. They do not. Blanco boots it out of there. It's a wobbler. It's going to bounce at the 30 and go out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. And again, Tony, a result of not just knocking that ball down. Now Trinity's got the ball in terrific field position at the St. X 32 to start this drive with 3:21 to go in the first quarter. Tigers lead at 7-0.
They gained 3 yards, Trinity did, on that exchange. And that's a killer. Now you give them the ball at your own 32-yard line, and now they're in great field position here. Defense got to step up again.
Zane Johnson in a quarterback. Under center this time on 1st down. Offset eye in the backfield. Give it to Barry. Running left, big hole. He's into the linebacker spot. Adam Buhner comes up to make the hit. Gets help from Dobson late. But a pickup of about 8 yards for Jamarian Barry down to the 23-yard line. Maybe the 24, 2nd down and 3.
Just an inside handoff. You don't want your safeties making tackles. That's not a good recipe for a good night, but Trinity does get 8 on 1st down.
And they're lined up in a power set again with Johnson under center. Here's Barry again running left. He is hit and dropped in the backfield. Luca Bentz, we've said that name a lot early, came clean, made the tackle. Got some help there from Rocco Pointer back at the 26-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Shamrocks, loss of a couple.
Yeah, that's just that stretch play to the left side and taking too long to get upfield. Tigers do a good job up front, getting the push, and Bentz comes from his outside linebacker spot and makes the play.
And now a Trinity Shamrock hits the turf. Elijah Hernandez, the big offensive guard, looked like he maybe started cramping up a little bit. It is not a cramping kind of day, Tony. We're under 70 degrees here with mist. This is not late August, but he is pounding the turf. He's feeling some discomfort down there.
It's not hot out here, but I told you when I got here, I walked up, it's very humid. So, cramps, we saw, if you watched the Kentucky game today, the guys were cramping everywhere, or maybe were cramping.
Maybe they were cramping. By the way, up in South Bend right now.
Hold on, make sure they can turn their earmuffs on.
I don't care. I mean, if you're home watching it, you're watching. If you're here, you're paying attention to it anyway. Notre Dame leads Louisville 24-14. About 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter in South Bend.
Might have been one guy out there, John, trying to
What's
wait.
he doing? What's he telling me that for? Yeah, my bad.
Well,
now Hernandez, good news, got up and got off on his own power here. So it looked like it might have been just a cramp.
I think it was.
He was ready to play, and then he just sort of sat down like, ouch, something's stinging me here. 3rd and 4 from the left hash mark. 2 receivers in the pistol. Here is Johnson. Berry behind him. Fakes it to Berry. Rolls right. Looking for a receiver. Bench chases him. He throws and it's tipped away. Terrific play to knock that one away, and that'll bring up 4th down. I have to imagine the Rocks are going to go for it anyway. Devin Ryan, the senior linebacker, got a hand on it. Bentz was applying the pressure.
Well, Bentz made a bad play and then a great play. He bit on the fake, but he's quick enough that he ran Johnson down and made Johnson throw it earlier, and then Ryan knocked it away. So
offense stays on the field on 4th and 4.
Thought they might try a field goal here.
Well, they might try to draw up the Tigers off sides again. That's certainly what I would do.
It's worked.
It has worked. Johnson takes the snap. Wants a slant pattern. It's caught. Boy, almost knocked down. But it got through somehow into the hands of Nation Roll McBroom, the sophomore, who makes the catch. I don't know who the linebacker was. I think it might have been Devin Ryan again.
I think it was Ryan.
Jumped in front of it and almost got a paw on it, but he didn't. It's down to the 13 and a 1st down for Trinity.
Looked like it might even going to get picked off because he threw it right at him, but it just sailed over his head, and a 1st down Trinity at the 13-yard line.
Tigers lead at 7-0 late here in the first quarter, but the Rocks are threatening. Johnson rolling to the left. Has time, can run it if he wants. Now he'll pull it down, and he will run it, and he's going to be hog-tied by Ben Pinkston down at about the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 and bring up 2nd and 8. Johnson was running left, Tony, kind of looking across to the right side of the end zone there.
I really don't know why he didn't tuck it. There was no Tiger out there. He got to the corner very easily, and he kept looking down the field, and like you said, he looked back across the field. I think if he'd have tucked it right off, he could have got some good positive yardage and maybe even got out of bounds.
Trinity running a couple of new subs out onto the field. It's
Barry
2nd down and
in.
8. Barry in the pistol behind Johnson. High snap, give it to Barry up the middle, tries to bounce it outside, and Pinkston won't let go of his leg. Ben Pinkston celebrating a nice play. Buhner, Bentz all came to help. But Ben Pinkston made that play, Tony.
He sure did. He came from that middle linebacker spot, got up the field, and when Barry tried to bounce it, he just held on to his leg and pulled him to the ground. So we're looking at 3rd and 9 from the 12-yard line. 38 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tigers lead 7-0.
Pinkston, 6'2", junior. He has been stalwart at inside linebacker so far this year. Tigers got to get one of these 3rd or 4th down stops on the Shamrock. Empty backfield for Johnson. 2 receivers each way. Tigers with a 3-man front. They bring 4. Quick throw to the right, out of the reach of Zach Floyd. Actually got a hand on it, but it was going to be nowhere near the 1st down marker. And here comes the field goal team for Trinity with 14 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Well, Tigers did something they don't normally do there. They dropped Karsten Bush in the coverage out on that side. So the corner, I believe it was Pointer, had the receiver up. It's going to, like you said, going to be short, but Bush did a nice job of getting into the zone coverage. And now Hilbert would come out here at the 20-yard line.
Broxton Shoemaker, the backup quarterback, will hold it, the senior. High snap, he got it down, and boy, what a great play by Shoemaker to get it down. It's up and good. Field goal for Trinity, 7-3 Tigers, 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Jimmy, how far was that? Back at St. X, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Gary Clark back at the studio keeping us on the air. Kickoff from Trinity goes deep into the end zone, and St. X will start at their own 20. A Tiger touchdown, a Rock field goal, and that's where we stand, 7-3. St. X leads, 11 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tigers have only thrown one pass so far, Tony. They've only had to throw one. They had an 80-yard run on the first play of the game.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. They've only run 4 offensive plays.
Correct. You're not wrong.
But we've seen Hilbert's leg, and if the Tiger defense did a nice job right there of stopping Trinity. Gave them great field position and only gave up to 3. So now Tigers will take over for 11 seconds.
Shelton goes wide to the right. Krupp and Barbie to the left. Now Barbie in motion from left to right. Here's a handoff to Marlin, and nothing there. He won't even get back to the 20. Tigers have had difficulty all season running the ball up the middle. We'll take a timeout. First quarter in the books, 7-3 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. I almost said.
Experience St. X. Experience the #1 all-boys high school in Kentucky. Experience 19 interscholastic sports. Experience more than 50 electives. Experience the brotherhood.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, and Jim. We start the second quarter. St. X has the ball second and 11 at their own 19-yard line with a 7-3 Tiger lead. And again, only 5 offensive plays for St. X in that first quarter, but they have the lead. Here's a play action. Trimble goes deep, wants to go throw it deep, looking for Anthony Barbie, who's being held, and there's the flag. There's 2 flags. And the helmet came off of Trimble as well as he took a shot in the backfield when he let it go. He will have to come off the field for a play as Thomas Andrio, the senior, will come in at quarterback.
But, John, that was a good throw by Trimble. He threw it where only Barbie was going to catch it, and Barbie had a step on the defensive back. And I know
That's
DB
probably a good play by the DB. It might have been an 81-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, Alan Evans actually looked up like I didn't do anything, but yeah, that was a good throw and a good run right there. And both referees didn't even hesitate; they grabbed their flags and threw them. So Tigers get the first down out to the 34-yard line.
15 yards on the penalty, 1st and 10, and Thomas Andriol, the senior, in at quarterback. The helmet came off.
Cooper Yates
Trimble.
back there with him.
Trimble's ready to come back in, but you got to sit out a play when the helmet comes off. Andriol goes back. There's a flag. And again, Tony, different cadence there might be the issue. And it'll, I think, be a false start against the Tigers, and it is.
And I like what they did there. Trinity thinks it's going to be a run.
He was ready to throw it.
Andriol comes into the game, and he's throwing it. I like the play call.
What we don't like is the penalty. It moves it back to the 29, 1st and 15.
Only thing I would have done different is put Marlon Harbin in the slot. That's what they're doing this time.
So Cooper Yates is in there. Cron is in the backfield as well. Andriol takes a snap, does want to throw it again. Looks downfield. He'll pull it down and run now. Positive yardage, slings his body across the 35 out to the 38-yard line.
And it's not a quarterback draw, but I think he was thinking, nobody's open. I'm tucking it and taking off. And he went right up the middle. And now it's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the 38.
Yeah, a terrific gain. 2nd and 6, actually. Gain of 9 there for Thomas Andriol. Trimble back in. Bush back in the H-back spot. Harbin in the backfield. Krupp to the right and Barbie to the left. Press coverage over here on the left. They give it to Marlin up the middle. There's about 14 people in this pile. He does get it to the 40-yard line and bring it up a 3rd down and 4. That is a mass of people at the point of attack there, Tony.
Well, That's another thing. If I'm down here calling plays, I'm bringing Karsten Bush into the game, and we're showing run, and we're going to throw it down the middle of the field because first thing they see is 3 in the game, and they think he's leading Marlon Harbin in the host. Show it, and then get it out quickly.
And now what they're going to see is 5 wide receivers in the pattern, empty backfield for Trimble.
Should run Cron underneath here.
The last time they ran this, it was a quick pass that ended up short of the first down. Here's the quarterback draw. He's got the first down, dives forward across the 45. You clear it out, Tony. You got 5 guys that have to be responsible for receivers. If you can get any blocking at all, it's going to work, and it worked that time. First down Tigers at their own 46.
Yeah, you got 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers in there. If everybody does their job up front and just blocks out, gives him a lane, and Mason Trimble gets the first down out to the 46 of the Tigers.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Marlon Harbin in the backfield. In motion comes Krupp from right to left. Bad pitch. Boy, what a great play by Harbin to catch it. Trinity got into the backfield, and they almost, Tony, had an interception on a pitch out for a touchdown. And some extracurriculars on both sides here as some defensive backs and wide receivers get tangled up.
Well, that should be a flag, and they should
Did they
give
throw
them
the
both.
flag?
They should have thrown a flag and just gave them both a personal foul.
Back to the play, Tony. It was a very dangerous pitch that time from Trimble to Harbin.
Yeah, Trinity blew that up. Krupp went in motion, and he got jammed up when they pitched it. And Marlon, phenomenal job. That's one of the best 2-yard losses you're ever going to see.
Referees are talking things over. There is a flag. I think they're going to just say offsetting personal fouls against one of the Tiger receivers.
No, they're not.
No, they are not. Wow.
Jay
Cobb is wanting an explanation over there.
Well, I think what happened, and this would be my interpretation of this, they let him go.
Face
and then
mask?
The Trinity defensive back grabbed Barbie, and Barbie might have started. I can't tell you who did.
Yeah.
But he grabbed his face mask.
And pulled it.
So I think that's where he got the 15 yards.
They'll move it down to the Trinity 41, so 15 free ones for the Tigers there. They've got an interference call and a personal foul now to account for 30 yards in offense here.
Run him down and have Krupp come under the right side. He'd be wide open.
3 to the right. Now Harbin goes from the backfield to wide left, and Cron goes into the backfield. Trimble wants to throw it over the middle. Wide open is Shelton. He's got the 25, spins out of a tackle to the 5-yard line where he's brought down.
Boy,
and
what a
Lucas
throw.
Shelton was wide open, Tony.
And what a zip that Mason Trimble had on that ball. When Trimble saw him, he stepped into that pass, and he threw a dart to Shelton wide open over the middle.
36-yard gain. Tigers in the green zone for the first time. First and goal at the 5. Lucas Shelton will energizedly come off the field. He's a little too amped up after that catch. Thomas Andriol in at quarterback for the Tigers. They've got Bush in there. They've got Cron. They're both set up right H-back. Andriol with Harbin. He fakes it to Marlin up the middle and not going to get much, if anything. Pushed back by that Trinity defense. I don't mind that one because you just hope the defense goes for Harbin, who's running behind Bush and Cron. But Trinity's guys stayed at home.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and that's the right play there. But you're moving the ball with Mason Trimble. Just because you get down to the 7-yard line, don't change. Don't change what you're doing. It's working.
Trimble comes back in now. It's actually a loss of 1 back to the 6, second and goal. Harbin in the backfield, pistol formation. This time Marlin will get it, running outside right. Eludes a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. They had Bush and Cron next to each other in the H-back spot, and Marlin had one guy to beat, and he did it, Tony. Second touchdown of the night for the Tiger Jr.
Well, Joseph Ford had a shot at him in the backfield, and Harbin made a great move. And Marlon Harbin goes in for his second touchdown of the night. So with 8:29 left here in the first half, Tigers lead 13-3 with Logan Zoller coming on to attempt the extra point.
Barbie, who I guess helped out with 30 yards worth of penalties there because he was the receiver that got interfered with earlier. Low snap, it rolls down on the ground, and this is going to be picked up by Trinity, but can't return it in high school. Just the snap just rolled back there, Tony. The freshman long snapper in there. He's been great so far. But wet conditions will make that happen. 8:29 to go in the half, 13-3 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at Brother Thomas More Stadium, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Gary Clark. It is 13-3 after the botched extra point attempt. Tigers lead Trinity. 8:29 to go in the first half, and Logan Zoller will kick it away. This one is high and deep. It's going to go into the end zone by a yard where Floyd tries to bring it out. Can't do that in high school, and Trinity will start at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, a couple of big penalties there on that drive, Tony, and then the big play to Lucas Shelton.
Yeah, the 15-yard penalty was the big one on the pass interference, and then Tigers go down. They get it in the end zone, so you've got 8:27 left here in the first half. Tigers have a 10-point lead here at Brother Thomas More Stadium and Paul M. Young Field. We'll see what the defense can do for the Tigers here.
2 drives for the Tigers, 80 yards for touchdowns. One was only one play, though.
Well, those are your
Still
favorite.
counts, though, right?
Those are your favorite drives, aren't they?
Hagan goes wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left on first down. Barry in the backfield. Johnson takes a snap from shotgun, gives it to Barry up the middle. He is going to be hit driving forward. Good hard running from Jamarian Barry. Bent's got a piece of him. Karsten Bush. Good sportsmanship there. The guy that went out earlier, Elijah Hernandez, Trinity offensive guard, helping Karsten Bush up. They just kind of patted each other on the helmet. One guy said, nice block. One guy said, way to knock me down.
That's the way it should be, isn't it, John? Too much talking in sports these days. Hey, I always tell the guys, just beat them and then pick them up and smile at them.
Gain of 4 out to the 24. Could have been a gain of 1, but good running from Barry there. 2nd down, shotgun, rolling right is Johnson. Wants to throw. In trouble. Gets out of trouble and runs to the left. Has all day. Now throws it downfield, and it is caught near the 50. Stepping out of bounds, that is Mason Shearer, the senior wide receiver. Big play by Johnson. He keeps the play alive in the pocket, rolls left, and there's nobody there, and Shearer makes himself available. It's a pickup to the St. X 48-yard line and a big play for the Rocks.
We'll give Johnson credit. Ryan came hard and blew the play up, and then when he turned the other way, he had enough space, and Shearer does what you want to do as a wide receiver, go find some open space, and give Zane Johnson credit for the pass and the completion.
First catch for the Trinity senior, 1st and 10 at the St. X 48. Johnson in the backfield, Barry to his left. Takes a snap, rolling left, now a screen, back out to Barry. Or that might be Neal back in there for the first time. First down before the Tigers can bring him down inside the 35-yard line. That is not Neal. That is Christopher Wilson, the senior running back, who just kind of got lost out of the backfield. Tigers chasing him down all the way to the 31. It's a gain of 17, and Trinity quickly trying to answer here.
Good-looking play. Put everybody to the left, throw the screen back, and Tigers had a chance, but Wilson too quick getting up the field to the 31-yard line of the Tigers.
Jeremiah Lynn is in the game. He is slotted to the right here. 4 receivers in the pattern. Barry in the backfield. Johnson wants to throw it. In trouble, and he's brought down. That is Eric Ekins. Defensive lineman came through. Devin Ryan was there to help as well, but Ekins just beat his man to the spot all the way back to the 39. It's a loss of 8 for the Shamrock quarterback.
Well, when you need a big play, that's the guy you look for. And the senior nose tackle doing a phenomenal job of just beating the Trinity offensive line. So now you look at 2nd and 18 from the 39. We're down to 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half.
2 receivers to the left, including Lynn. 2 to the right. Johnson rolling left. Barry stays in to help block. Bush was coming from the other side. They get it to Shearer. He's going to be brought down short of the original line of scrimmage at the 32. It'll be a gain of 8 on the play and bring up a 3rd down and 11 as they get it back down to the 32-yard line. Good throw, good catch.
Nice play by Adam Buhner, too, to come up from his safety spot, make that play. Like you said, 3rd and 11.
Big 3rd down here. You're the Tiger defense. You certainly want to stop the Rocks from answering quickly. 4 receivers in the pattern. Barry in the backfield. He'll stay in and block. Quick throw to the left and not on the same page with Jeremiah Lynn. He kept running down the sideline. And Zane Johnson obviously expected him to stop and turn around. James Burnett was the closest player there, and there were no close players there.
Well, just miscommunication from the quarterback and the wide receiver. And now Trinity looks like they're going to go for it. With Hilbert's leg, wouldn't you think they'd be trying about it?
In this weather, Tony, I think you worry about
John, I just saw a
whole bunch of stuff.
I saw him kick that extra point into the school.
It's 4th down and 11. at the Tiger 32. Oh, and Shearer gets an early start right on his own sideline, and that'll move it back and bring up 4th and 16.
Well, Corey Tutt moved, but he didn't. He just kind of came out of his stance. He didn't really do anything. And
you think Shearer saw that?
Sometimes you're just looking and you see movement and you take off, and a big break for the Tigers right there. So now it's going to be 4th and 16.
Move it back to the 37-yard line, 6:19.
Man, I tell you what, it's got some guts.
6:19 left here, but the clock stopped. And I think this is the 4th time so far the Rocks have gone for it on 4th down tonight. Maybe the 3rd. Straight drop, pressure up the middle, hit and dropped. Eric Ekins again right up the middle gets Zane Johnson, and now the Tigers will have great field position at their own 45-yard line.
6:14, the Tigers will have the ball at their own 45-yard lines. Bush butt pressure from the outside. I think when Johnson, just in his mind, knows where Bush is, step forward, and there was Ekins, bam, takes him down. Bunch of Tigers there. So now they can be a little aggressive here, John. Up 10 points with 6:14 left. We'll see what they do as they trot back on the field with Mason Trimble.
And even if the Rocks miss a field goal there, Tony, the Tigers have it at the 20. So you just gave them 25 yards.
That was my thought process. It's not like college or it's not like pro where you give them the ball there.
1st and 10, Shelton to the right, Barbie to the left. Trimble takes a snap, wants to throw to the left, not there. Now he'll pull down, run right. He's got a little bit of room. He's across midfield, pushed out of bounds, and knocked down. Looking for a flag, and there it is. He was a couple of yards off the sideline there, and then somebody just decided to push him down. And Trinity, Tony, has shot themselves in the foot with some major penalties here tonight.
Yeah, the head referee came in from behind and was following the play and threw the flag. So Trimble makes a great decision and rolls out to his right when everybody went left. He gets 9 yards on the play, and now they're going to add 15 on it.
Trimble made the right call, though, Tony. His first and second reads were not there, and he saw an opening on the right side and took advantage.
Yeah, his main receiver was Kyle Krupp. He went into the flat over here. He looked at him. Trinity had done a nice job of defending him, and when he looked to his right, there was nobody. The one Trinity player ran him down, and then one of the DBs came in and hit him late.
Tigers quickly down to the Trinity 31-yard line. 1st down and 10. Krupp and Barbie to the left, Shelton to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Marlon Harbin in the backfield. In motion comes Barbie to the short side. Here's a pitch to Marlon. Running behind Cron, behind Barbie. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 30. We'll see where he went out. Looks like the 28-yard line will be the spot. They run it to the short side there, Tony, and Marlon gets 3.
I was a little worried. Trimble kind of hesitated on the pitch, and it gave Trinity an opportunity, but Marlon got upfield and got a solid 3 yards on 1st down.
It's not in a hurry to get it to Marlon there, was it?
No, and I don't think if you're the Tigers, you're in a big hurry right now. The clock stopped right there because he went out of bounds. If you can move the chains and move the clock a little bit, it keeps the ball out of Trinity's hands, but Tigers are looking to put points on the board here.
2nd down and 7. Tigers' offensive line looks a little confused here. 3 receivers in the pattern. Trimble looks to the sideline.
It's not a good thing when your offensive line looks confused.
They did look confused.
They're okay now.
Hand off to Harbin, running left, cuts inside. It looked like he had some room, but, boy, it closes quickly with this Trinity defense. Big Jabari Frost, the junior defensive tackle, able to make the hit and stop at the 27. So it would look promising. Was only a gain of 1, and that brings up 3rd and 6. And I would say, Tony, if you're the Tigers right now, you're in 4-down territory as long as you go forward here.
Yeah, clock runs to 5:30. This is a big play. This is a big play in the football game because if you're saying actually you can get a 1st down here and you get an opportunity to definitely get some points, Trinity needs to stop. We'll see what the Tigers would do on 4th down if they don't get it here, but Mason Trimble having a nice game.
Cron will line up in the backfield. 4 receivers in the pattern, empty backfield. Quarterback draw, Trimble up the middle. He's got the 1st down across the 20 and into the green zone.
Wow. Trinity had 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. They were in man coverage. They had everybody up. Cron moves up in front of Trimble to block, and Trimble just tucks it and takes off and makes a great run.
Gain of 8, 1st down at the 19-yard line. Trinity, remember, will get the ball to start the second half. So if you can milk as much clock as you can, as you mentioned, before you score, the better. You just want to score.
What I'd like to see the Tigers try to do here, John, is show that handoff to Harbin with Bush in front, throw a corner route over to Kyle Krupp.
Yeah, Krupp's one-on-one by himself with a lot of room over there.
Safeties are moving up, too.
Barbee to the left. Trimble telling Marlon Harbin where to go. They fake the pitch to Harbin and a sack in the backfield. Boy, they wanted to throw the go route to Barbee. It wasn't there. And the co-captain Bailey Vance, defensive end, came around and buried Mason Trimble. It's a big loss back to the 27-yard line, 3rd and long.
Yeah,
second and long.
That's the kind of play, too, that Trimble, doesn't see the defender coming from the weak side and could have been worse than that. But I don't dislike the call. It just Trinity did a good job defensively on it.
If you're Mason there and it's not there, do you just throw it over everybody's head?
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him run a post there because I watched the safeties both walk up when Bush was in the backfield.
2nd down and 18 after the loss, back to the 27. Straight drop. Trimble wants to throw it. In trouble. Now pulls it down. He'll run to the left. He's got a blocker. He's inside the 20 to 15 and knocked out of bounds. Good, hard, clean hit from Nation Roll McBroom to knock him out of bounds at about the 10, but positive yardage, 17 yards on the game.
Little guy on the field with the best block of the night. Cooper Yates took those two guys.
2 or 3 maybe.
He got 2 guys on one block that got Trimble around the corner. Yates just turned and blocked one guy into the other, and that got Trimble around the corner. So you're going to look at 3rd down.
Yeah, they spot him at the 12, not the 10, so it will be 3rd and 3 for the Tigers in the green zone again. And with this weather, this might be 4-down territory also. Here's a handoff to Harbin. Hard running into the middle. He's got the first down, dives forward, needed the 9-yard line. He got down to about the 7, 1st and goal for the Tigers. Boy, we've seen Marlon dance a lot, Tony. He had a hit of steam that time.
I was getting ready to say that, John. He got that ball, and he just took off, and he got his head down, and now the Tigers get the 1st and goal, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Not 1st and goal at the 7.
Okay, the scoreboard's wrong.
Yeah, the scoreboard. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Who's running that over there? They're at the 7, 1st and goal, 2:53 to go. Clock moving here. And again, no hurry. You got all 3 timeouts if you need them, which you shouldn't. Here's Harbin runs into 2 or 3 rocks and luckily gets a yard out of it to the 6, 2nd and goal.
Actually, a nice run by Marlon Harbin. Joseph Ford comes up from his safety spot and wraps him up.
Bush out, Shelton back in here.
This is what I like doing. Even if you're going to run it here, spread Trinity out. Get to all the receivers, get them spread out. If you want to throw it, you throw it. You take a good look at what Trinity's doing defensively, and then you make your decision.
Tigers are taking a long time to get this play in.
Might be using a timeout here.
Back judge does not have his hand up. Yeah, they're going to, at least it looks like they should take their time and call a timeout, but they're ready to go. Back judge still doesn't have his hand up. He does now. Tigers may not have been set. Here's a screen to Harbin. He's got 2 men to beat, and he's not going to do it. He gets to the 4.
I like to call, though. God.
Tackled there. Good recovery by the Trinity defense there. It's a gain of 2. Ring up 3rd and goal at the 4. A helmet came off. That stops the clock momentarily. A Trinity defender's helmet came off.
Well, minute 50 left, 13-3. Clock starts running. John, they did a great job of clearing the area. Harbin bobbled the ball a little bit on the catch, and I think that just helped the Trinity defense get there. And I'm not saying he would have got in, but he would have got closer. So big play here on 3rd and 4.
Shelton and Krupp go wide to the right. That's the short side. Harbin and Barbee are to the left. Cron's in the backfield. In motion comes Krupp to put 3 on the wide side. Looking right, nothing there. Into the middle runs Trimble, and he's going to get to the 5. Lose a yard there. You don't want to turn it over. That's number 1. I'm surprised Trinity's not using a timeout here, Tony. Because St. X is going to kick the field goal regardless. And the Rocks are going to lose 25 seconds here by not calling a timeout.
Yeah, it's not a good decision, I think, by Jay Cobb. But Trimble did the right thing. Nobody was open.
Remember,
he did not throw it.
We had a botched extra point. This is basically an extra point. It'll be spotted at the 12, a 22-yard field goal from Logan Zoller. Good snap this time. Good hold. Zoller gets it up and through. Tigers lead it 16-3. 41 seconds to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Kickoff by the Tigers, and Logan Zoller for the second straight time gets a touchback as it goes about a yard into the end zone, and Trinity will have it with 41 seconds left here in the first half. All 3 timeouts available to Jay Cobb's Shamrocks, and they'll start at their own 20. Tigers with the field goal lead at 16-3.
Yeah, I take one of my safeties, and I put them 30 yards off the ball here. I play everybody else the same just to have somebody back here. You do not want somebody to get behind. So Marlon Harbin is at the one corner, Burnett at the other corner. You have to keep people in front, and the safeties have to drop here. Probably give it to Barry.
Trinity sends 2 to the right and 1 to the left. Tight end left as well, or H-back, I should say. Barry in the backfield in the pistol formation. Johnson takes a snap. He does give it to Barry up the middle. He's got a little bit of room, and then he is bear hugged. Which Tiger that was? That was Corey Tuff, Tony. Came with the bear hug and held him up, waited for some help. Trinity is going to let it run here. Interesting. All 3 timeouts, and they're going to take them into the locker room with a 13-point deficit. I'm a little surprised here.
They're going to run a play. That's why you got to get deep with your safeties here, and I don't like where they're at.
I think you get even deeper now.
You got to get deeper.
There's under 10 seconds to go in the first half.
And you backpedal the whole way.
Straight drop, screen pass. And it's going to get to the 30. It's going to get to the 40. And down the right sideline and loose. Tigers need to make a play, and James Burnett does at the 30-yard line as the half runs out. Christopher Wilson took the screen. That is certainly going to help the Trinity yardage for the first half. We saw the triple jump speed of James Burnett there.
Well, we also saw Wilson start stumbling at about the 37-yard line. He kind of lost his footing, which you go, uh-oh. And then all of a sudden you're okay there.
That was an uh-oh moment, I think, for if you're Bart Bruner, the defensive coordinator. A little uh-oh moment, right?
Yeah, I thought Ryan had him initially, and then he cut, and then all of a sudden everybody's chasing him. And thank goodness Burnett's got the world-class speed, and he just comes running across the field and makes the tackle. So Tigers lead 16-3 here at half. John, what do you think? I mean, you expect Trinity to score points, but Tiger defense has played really well.
It is surprising. Obviously, you hold Trinity to 3. You've done a good thing. But keep this in mind. Mayo held Trinity to 6 in the first half last week. Trinity won that game and shut out Mayo in the second half. So 24 minutes, a lot of football left to play. But if you're Kevin Wallace and St. X fan base, you got to be happy. 16-3 Tigers with the lead here at halftime.
Offense has looked really well. Mason Trimble has done some good things. Trinity does have 4 penalties for 50 yards, which hurt them.
Killing them.
But Tigers did a good job. They gave them a short field at one time, gave up the field goal, and that's the only points Trinity's got here in the first half.
We will take a 3-minute timeout from the Kroger broadcast booth. Come back with the halftime report. Some scores from across the nation in college football. We don't get to do that a whole lot, but we'll catch you up there and look ahead to what we expect in the second half as well. You're listening to St. X High School Football on Big X Sports Radio. 3 minutes, Gary. Back at St. X, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Gary Clark back at the studio. It is halftime here at Brother Thomas More Stadium. 16-3, St. X with the lead. This one started out with a bang, Tony. A touchback on the opening kickoff from Trinity. Handoff to Marlon Harbin. 80 yards later, 12 seconds into this game, it's 7-0 St. X.
Yeah, Marlon's got 9 carries for 97 yards, having a big day. But that first play, it was just a handoff off the right side. Tigers pinched down a little bit, and Trinity went inside. And it was just a foot race, and it looked like Trinity player was going to catch Marlon Harbin, and he just got away from him.
He had another gear there.
He had another gear. So Tigers get that first touchdown. It really kind of dictated how this first half's gone.
And I was surprised because, now, full disclosure, we did the interview with Coach Glazer. If you heard it in the pregame, we did it on Thursday. So he said a lot of things. Coach Wallace, I should say. Wow, I'm in the Wayback Machine here. But, you know, we did the L&N Stadium. We were expecting high winds, all of that stuff. And, of course, that didn't come to fruition. What I was not told in the pregame, even off the air, was that Karsten Bush was going to play a little tight end tonight. So on that first play, he's in at H-back, and it's a difference maker.
Well, a lot of people don't see the Courier anymore, but there was an article about Karsten Bush, and Coach Wallace.
I did see that.
Coach Wallace did say later in the year.
Yeah, he didn't say this week,
probably, we're going to play him at tight end some later in the year. Later in the year was a couple of days later. So, but what that does, it's Trinity knows who Karsten Bush is, so they put him in front. And don't take anything away from Miller Cron. Miller Cron's done a great job at playing that spot. But that gives you 2 guys that are athletic and big. And they did try to throw out of it one time, but Tigers, gosh, things are working well. Defense is playing well. Trinity moved the ball a few times. They got a penalty here or there. Tigers got a sack a couple times, and that's why we're at where we're at.
And Trinity has not wanted. They have not wanted to throw the ball tonight. It looks like their game plan coming in with the weather was, hey, let's line up, let's put a hat on a hat, let's run the football against these guys. It hasn't worked. Quite frankly, they've got 3 points. St. X defense has not allowed them to get away, Barry to get loose. And when you look at Zane Johnson's number, Tony, he was great as a freshman last year. And that win over St. X 45-10, he was unbelievable. But he is under 50% passing this year. He's got 6 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. And to be quite honest about it, Mason Trimble's been a better quarterback this year than Zane Johnson has been.
Zane Johnson's 8 for 13 for 132.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
All that came on that play right
about
there.
50 of it came right there at the end.
Right, but Mason Trimble's done such a good job as managing the game. He's made really good decisions. The pass he hit Shelton with, he stepped up. But what he's done well is he's not forced balls. He's made the right decision when to run it. And Tigers right now could not be more excited with a 13-point lead here at halftime. But it's just halftime, and we know Trinity will make adjustments. But I agree with you. It's turf. It's raining lightly. I mean, people – don't even only a few people with umbrellas up.
They didn't have the hoodies on.
Yeah, so I think Trinity will come out in the second half, show the ball to Barry, maybe give it to Barry, and then maybe try to get the ball down the field. But what the Tigers have done really, really well is they haven't just stayed in that base defense. They've dropped Bush. They've brought Bentz. They've brought Ryan.
Kingston.
They have switched it up where they bring a guy and they roll a guy. And I know I always talked about that, and I'm not a defense coordinator, but you can run anything defensively, but you got to show different things. You can't just let the offense decide what they're going to do. You got to make a 16-year-old kid make decisions. And I think the Tigers are doing a good job of that.
Trinity will get the ball first to start the second half, Tony. How important is it for that St. X defense to bow their necks again and not let Trinity get into the end zone? Obviously, you don't want them to get any points, but at worst, give up a field goal.
Yeah, I always think the start of the second half in all sports is huge because the momentum's with the Tigers. They got a 13-point lead, but Trinity wants to come out, flip that on the Tigers, change that up. But, yeah, it's huge. And I think both coaches would tell you that this possession for Trinity is huge. It's field position. It's, can you get points on the board? Yeah.
We talked about a slippery ball, how turnovers might be a factor. There's only been 1 turnover, and that was a 4th down interception that Miles Dobson, quite frankly, should have knocked down and not intercepted. So both teams done a really good job of handling the wet football here today.
Only mistake was the extra point when the bad snap came back and the Tigers did not get to kick the extra point. But, yeah, you're right, John. But you know what? With a turf field and the gloves they wear now and all the stuff, it's not like the old days when the ball is super slick or not. So We'll see what happens here in the second half, but a really nice crowd out here with the U of L Notre Dame going on, Kentucky playing earlier.
Well, we can't have overtime.
Louder than life,
because we got to get you to the Motley Crue concert.
Yeah,
tonight.
You got to get me out to Crue.
All right, we'll take another 3-minute timeout. It's 16-3 Tigers at the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at Brother Thomas More Stadium, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Gary Clark back at the studio. It is 16-13, St. X leading Trinity here at halftime. Both teams, other than the kick specialists, still in the locker room. And, Tony, I think you're right. This is a great night to go to a concert. The weather is clearing out here. The rain is a mist at best. And I'll give credit to both student sections, Tony. The Rage Cage showed up for the Tigers, and Trinity brought their crazy students as well.
No, it's a great crowd, John, and a day that you think, well, maybe, some people might stay home because of the weather, but right now, like I said, I got here an hour early, and the Trinity students were already here, and the Tiger students were already yelling at each other, and great day for a football game. Football players would tell you, a little rain, but there's no mud.
Nothing better.
There's no mud.
Well, yeah, this is not Old Manual Stadium, that's for sure. And I like that because I still want to read the numbers on the jerseys when it's raining outside.
Well, the good part about the turf is I think it keeps the game more even. When you get on a sloppy field and the team can't throw, that's a throwing team, the conditions are the same here for both teams. You get turf field. It's a little wet. You got to handle the ball. But as of right now, Tigers have done a really nice job and, got to play those 24 minutes. Yep.
Some interest. We can do this because it's Saturday. We don't usually get to do this. Some interesting college scores today. If you were under a rock in the Commonwealth, Kentucky went down to Ole Miss and knocked off the
Down to the Grove.
six-ranked Rebels today, 20-17. I know you probably watched that game. The defense was outstanding. One big play, really, the fourth down pass was the difference.
It was, and Kentucky usually does not get the breaks in football. The football gods helped them out a
Fumbled
little.
into the end zone, and the tight end caught it in midair. That usually doesn't happen.
Long pass to get them in the
fourth down
scoring position.
Indiana remained undefeated. The Hoosiers are 5-0. Our boy Scooter Dingus will love to hear that. They win 42-28 over Maryland today at home. They go to Northwestern next week. This is an Indiana team that could be bowl eligible at this time next week.
Yeah, if you listen to Spears on Sports,
right here on Big X,
on the Big X, Monday through Thursday from 12 to 1, you get to hear John and I talk about that. And Kentucky, we'll talk about this game. Try us out Monday if you've never listened.
Grammatically, you were right with John and me.
Well, whatever. I try. My 8 years of St. X are still struggling.
All right, 8.5 minutes to go up in South Bend. Louisville's kind of shot themselves in the foot from everything I can ascertain so far today. Notre Dame leads the Cards 31-17, again with about 8.5 minutes left there. Western Kentucky on the short end. They went up to Boston College today, Chestnut Hill, and led most of the game. Lost that one 21-20, basically at the buzzer. We'll take one more 3-minute timeout, come back with the second half. St. X leads at 16-3. You're watching on the Tiger Sports Network and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience more than $3 million in tuition assistance. Experience a world-class campus. Experience 29 advanced placement courses. Experience the brotherhood.
Back at St. X on this Saturday afternoon for high school football. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Gary Clark back in the studio. It is halftime, 16-13. St. X has the lead over Trinity. The Tigers got on the board first. 12 seconds into this when Marlon Harbin took a handoff and went 80 yards. Basically untouched around right end. Tigers led it 7-0. Trinity answered with a Carson Hilbert field goal late first quarter with 11 seconds to go. It was a 30-yarder that made it 7-3. St. X answered. Marlon Harbin, a 6-yard run after Trinity shot themselves in the foot with a couple of major penalties along the way. And a big throw to Lucas Shelton set the Tigers up at the 5. Harbin took it in from 6 yards out, his second touchdown of the game. The extra point was botched. A bad snap rolled back with this weather. You can see why that could happen. It was 13-3 Tigers with 8:29 to go in the half. And then with 41 seconds left, Ben Zoller, 22-yard field goal. Logan Zoller, maybe Ben Zoller, but I think it was Logan Zoller. His 22-yard field goal made it 16-3 Tigers, and that is where we are at as we get ready to start the second half here, Tony, as Zoller comes out to kick it away. Whichever Zoller that is, he'll kick it away, and Trinity will head toward the scoreboard here, left to right as we look at it from the press box here at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
Tigers ran 23 plays in the first half for 210. Trinity ran 26 for 129, but a lot of those were on the last play of the half on the screen pass.
2 men deep for the Rocks. It is Zach Floyd along with Christopher Wilson. Zoller's last 2 kickoffs have gone into the end zone. And we are ready. 24 minutes of football left. Tigers trying to get a little revenge from a couple of shellackings, quite frankly, at the hands of the Shamrocks last year. Logan boots it away, and he's got all of that one. Trinity will start at their own 20-yard line as the ball bounces about halfway into the end zone. And the sophomore, Zane Johnson, will bring his team out to the line of scrimmage. Tony, what do you expect out of Trinity's offense early here in this second half?
I think you'll see him put the ball up maybe short a little more. They really tried to establish the run in the first half, and they didn't run it terribly, but Tiger defense has done a really nice job. And, you know, if history tells you anything, Trinity's going to throw the ball into the flat and start trying to get the ball and get tackles missed and up the field. Tiger defense has done a nice job here in the first half, but this is a different half.
Craig Bird, Ethan Harris, and a guy that had a great first half, Eric Ekins, along the front line for the Tigers. Pistol formation, high snap. Johnson takes it, fakes the handoff, throws it quickly to the left to Jeremiah Lynn. He's near the first down marker, and I think he's got it. He is hammered to the ground. Miles Dobson came up, made the hit, but it's a gain of 12 and a first down for Trinity. A little play action that time as they faked the handoff to Floyd.
Well, it was a high snap. First of all, Johnson had to field the snap, and I thought it was just a broken play, but it was set up well. So first down on the first play for the Rocks.
And Lynn, who we didn't see a whole lot in that first half, he started playing there late in the first half. He is lined up in the slot to the right. Trinity looks to go a little faster this time. Handoff up the middle, good hard run. Tripped up is Floyd. And I believe it was Ekins that got a piece of him, just enough to knock him off balance. He crossed the 35 out to the 38. It's a gain of 6.
Well, if Ekins doesn't get him right there, he's in the St. X defensive backfield. There was nobody right there. Ekins made a heck of a play. And now Trinity, 2 plays, 2 nice plays.
Bush and Bentz are the outside linebackers. Devin Ryan and Ben Pinkston are the inside backers for the Tigers on this opening defensive possession. 4 receivers in the pattern. Here's play action. Quick throw to the right. It is caught but hit and dropped immediately by Rocco Pointer is Jason Hagan back at the 34-yard line.
Well, they run that play, and who was supposed to block, John? Number 3.
Jeremiah Lynn.
The guy that's hurt did not block anybody, and that's his responsibility. You got to think who you got out there. A guy's got a bad shoulder, and you want him to block? And Rocco Pointer just ran right past him and made the play.
Loss of 4 back to the 34 brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Rocks. Tigers have 4 at the line of scrimmage. Shotgun for Zane Johnson. Takes a snap, straight drop. Has time. Now it's breaking down a little bit. He's rolling to the right. He's in trouble. He loses his balance and falls. Craig Bird was chasing him around back there. And down he goes for a sack back at the 25.
Look down the field. The 4 Trinity receivers were all covered. Johnson had nothing. He tried to cut back. His feet fall out from under him, and the Tigers get a stop after Trinity gets a first down on the first play, gets a nice 6-yard gain, and now they're going to have to look at Hilbert going back to punt it away.
Loss of 9 on the play. This will be the first punt formation for Trinity tonight. Kyle Krupp goes deep for the Tigers, standing back at about his 35-yard line. High snap. Hilbert brings it down and gets it out of there. Contact with Hilbert, but I think he was blocked into him. Krupp gets out of the way, and Trinity lets it roll down to the 29-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. It is a 46-yard kick and no return. Again, a high snap there, and again, you got the wet ball, so you never know. But Hilbert did a good job of getting it out of there.
Yeah, Tigers got good pressure with it high. I know Shelton and someone else was back there, but a good decision by Krupp. Get away from the wet football. I know it's they flipped the field there, but Tigers will take it at their own 29-yard line. They get to stop on the first possession of the second half.
Mason Trimble, the quarterback, has got Marlon Harbin to his right, 3 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Miller Cron is the tight end to the left. 4 down linemen for the Rocks. Here's a handoff to Harbin. Started inside, outside, back inside. He'll get 3 out to the 33-yard line before he's hemmed in by a couple of Trinity defenders. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
And you got to remember, Manny Gray's been out since the second game of the season. He was the featured running back. Marlon Harbin was going to be used at running back, slot receiver, wide receiver, all those things. So it has changed the Tiger offense without Manny Gray. Hopefully later in the year, Manny Gray will be back. But Marlon Harbin doing a nice job.
9 minutes left here. Clock running, 3rd quarter. Cron in the backfield, 4 receivers, including Harbin. Now Miller comes up near the line of scrimmage. Krupp in motion from right to left. Puts 3 on that side. I think the Rocks were off sides. I don't know if they were drawn off, but.
No, one of the Rocks decided he was going to get in the backfield. He did.
Oh, it was an unbelievable start from Julian Carney, the defensive end sophomore. But unfortunately, the ball hadn't been snapped, and that's going to cost the Rocks 5 yards. Move it out to the 38-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Just jumped the gun just a little there, huh?
He jumped it a lot. He would have been disqualified in the Olympics.
He sure would.
He was so early. 2nd down and 1. Take a shot here, Tony?
I would, John.
Rocks do have 2 deep safeties here. Pistol formation. Harbin behind Trimble. Here's Krupp in motion from left to right. Give it to Harbin, and he's hit and dropped in the backfield. Keandre Thompson, the defensive end, came through. It appeared untouched there, Tony, and Marlon dropped back at the 34-yard line. There is a flag down, I believe, on the play. We'll see what this is. I think if it's against Trinity, if you're the Tigers, you decline it. It looks like it's going to be an illegal formation.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that's what it is. Lucas Shelton not happy about it, but you decline it, right? Bring up 3rd and 4.
I think I would have took the shot there. Now, in hindsight, that's easy to say.
Loss of 3 on the play.
You still have a manageable first down here, 3rd and 6, but 3rd and 1's a whole lot better, isn't it, than 3rd and 6?
It's a whole lot better. Ball squarely on the 35. They have to get to the 39 for the first down.
Get it out here to Krupp, man.
Krupp in the slot to the left, Barbee wide that way. Shelton is to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Cron in the H-back spot. 4 down linemen. They come. Rolling away from it is Trimble. He lowers his shoulder, dives forward, but he'll be a yard short of the first down. Well, they came from the opposite side. Trimble rode the correct way, but did not get the first down to bring up 4th and 1 at your own 38, and Tigers will send the punt team out.
Yeah, if he could have just had a few more seconds, he had Lucas Shelton running down the middle of the field with a man, and he had a step on him, but no way he could see that.
He was coming after him.
Yep.
Logan Blanco in to kick it away, the left footer. Mason Shearer is deep, the senior for the Shamrocks. Well, I think the Tigers jumped. Trinity's pointing. St. X is pointing.
I think Tigers moved.
But I think this is going to be 5 against St. X on the interior of that line. It is. So 4th and 1 turns into 4th and 6. A couple of unnecessary penalties against the Tigers here on this drive.
Could have tried that, put a guy in motion and go hut and try to get him to jump, but
wouldn't matter now.
Nope. 4th and 6 from the 37.
Scherer comes
32.
up to the 35-yard line to receive this punt. Trinity showing maybe they're coming, and they are. Blinko gets it out here, and he's hammered.
There's the flag.
Flag is down. Ball caught by Scherer on a fair catch at the 40. I think this is going to be the big one because they knocked Blinko's leg out from under him. This is probably, Tony, going to be another 15-yarder against the Shamrocks.
Should be, John. He hit it with his leg up in the air, and that's normally when you call it as a
I think they're calling it a 5-yarder. Wow. Very surprised by that. It's still going to be 4th down. The Tigers will take it on the other end and move it back 5 yards to the 35. Boy, I thought that was the 15-yarder, Tony. And, again, we don't have replay up here, but Logan Blinko was in a position where he could have got hurt. Right?
I'm trying to figure out why the Tigers, I know they don't want to punt the ball, but they're going to give Trinity the ball in great field position.
They're going to give it to him at about the 36-yard line.
41-yard line.
Well, you still got to mark 5 yards off. I believe you mark 5 yards off. You don't decline the penalty. And Kevin Wallace is running out on the field saying, hey, hold up, you got to move it back 5 yards. Well, there's only 5 striped guys in striped shirts out there. You can't expect one of them to get it right.
Well, then you punt it again.
Yeah, if you're not going to get the 5 yards.
You got to punt the ball, Coach.
You kick it again?
You kick it again because they're going to move it up 5. John, that punt was only.
No, they're going to let it go. They got close to blocking it, Tony, and it is only 5 yards, but.
You could get them to jump off sides.
So 1st and 10, Trinity at their own 41. Defense asked to step up again here. Good field position for the Rocks. Zane Johnson in the shotgun. He's got Berry with him. He'll give it to Jamarian Berry up the middle. He's got a few. Bush will not let him get any more, and there's a flag that comes in. A Tiger helmet is on the deck. Corey Tuff picks his helmet up and comes off, and that might be an illegal hands to the face penalty.
Well, if he pulled his helmet off, he should be able to stay in the game. Let's see what the penalty is first, though. Referees.
They look as confused as the Tiger offensive line did on that one play earlier.
It's against the Tigers? No.
There's no way it's against the Tigers.
No, I agree, but the one referee started to walk towards the Tigers.
They're actually coming over and asking Kevin Wallace what he wants to do.
It's a face mask.
It's a 5-yard face mask is what he's telling him. No, a personal foul, 15.
He pulls his helmet off. It's got to be.
I don't know what you're asking the coach for, and who doesn't take a 15-yard personal foul?
Yeah, we'll decline that and just take the – another penalty that's hurt Trinity. Trinity's had some penalties at inopportune times, but 6:51 left here in the third. If you just joined us, Tigers lead 16-3. That was the halftime score. And now Trinity has the ball at their own 26-yard line.
1st and 25 now for the Rocks after the major penalty, and their 4th major penalty of the night. 4 receivers in the formation, 2 on each side. Straight drop for Johnson. Looks over the middle. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Diving was Lynn. Miles Dobson was the closest Tiger. Lynn had a little daylight, Tony, but not a good throw.
Didn't look like he was running, John. I think he's thinking about getting hit. And if he's got any thought in his mind, he's their star receiver, but he's got a shoulder problem. He didn't block on the one play, and he didn't look like he wanted to go down the middle on that one.
2nd down and long. Expect maybe a screen pass here, draw play. 3 receivers here, so they do have a tight end. Well, no, they don't because Lynn.
Okay, the center put his hands on the ball and then stood up to let the receiver
move in front of him.
I'd have jumped
of all places. Straight drop, all day for Johnson. He is going to air it out deep. He's got a receiver back there, knocked away. Good play. Maybe a lucky play, but James Burnett recovered. The ball was intended for McBroom, Tony, and he was open for a period of time. Great throw from Johnson, who aired it out. And Burnett at the last minute, I think they were going to throw a flag, but he got a hand on it.
Yeah, I think when he jumped for the ball, it saved him. But, James Burnett's a sprinter, a long jumper. He's got an unbelievable vertical jump. I've seen him dunk the ball 3 or 4 times in a game, and his athletic ability sometimes makes up for maybe not being in the right place, and that one did.
3rd down and 25. Clock stops with 6:25 to go in the third. Bush showing blitz here. Now he backs out of it. It is a 4-man rush. Johnson rolls to the right, looking back to the left. Now still rolling right, and he just throws it into the turf. And that's a flag. I think they're going to call grounding. There's nobody over there, although McBroom was fairly close. But he was about 8 yards away. The referees are going to talk this one over. If it's grounding, it'll move it back to the spot of the foul and be loss of down. Or maybe it's an ineligible man downfield.
Well, you would decline it anyway, John.
Not if it's loss of down. It's an ineligible man. So you're declining that and bring up 4th and 25. If it was grounding, you don't decline it.
Oh, we got a sideline warning on the Tigers.
Well, they're getting excited, Tony.
I know it. Everybody back up.
6:18 to go. Clock stops on the incompletion. Tigers turn down the penalty. And, boy, you give them the ball at the 41, Tony, and they're punting from the 26, so you did something good here.
You sure
defensively.
Did. Now, Hilbert will go back and stand at about his own 13-yard line.
And, again, a major penalty. That face mask on 1st down just kills Trinity. Hilbert will kick it away. Krupp is deep. Tigers set up a return here. Hilbert brings down the high snap. Great kick. High and deep. Krupp retreats to the 29 and falls down. Well, he got hit by a ghost that time. Sniper got him. He falls at the 30, and the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 there. 44-yard kick, no return that time.
Hilbert's a weapon.
Yes, he is. And he did the rugby kick that time. He kind of rolled to the right, still got a ton on it.
The Tigers will take over at their own 30-yard line.
And now is a perfect time for a sustained drive. Just saying.
I'd like to see him throw it out here quick. Now, they are covering him out here. 6:11 left, third quarter, 16-3 Tigers if you just joined us.
Cron's the H-back to the right, 3 receivers to the left, and Harbin in the backfield. Now Cron goes in motion to the left. Here's a handoff to Marlin. He's got some blockers. He's across the 35. There's a flag. He's going to go to midfield and knock down inside the 40, but that one's coming back. Trimble talking to the official. Mason is probably saying, I didn't see that. What'd you see? I'm not sure that's right, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, it was right at the hole where Marlon Harbin went through, and the flag came out quickly.
So the hold will negate a huge pickup for Marlon Harbin, about a 30-yarder. We'll move it back to the 20 and bring up 1st and 20.
I'd like to see a screen, John. Let Trinity come. Dump one out into the flat, and let's see what we can do with one of these wide receivers. That's a big penalty, though. It's only 10 yards, but it's more like 50 yards.
Krupp will go wide to the right. Shelton will come out of the game. Harbin is in there, and Yates is in at running back. So that means Marlin will go in the slot to the right. 2 receivers that way, and Barbee is alone to the left. He's got one-on-one coverage. Trimble alone in the backfield, takes a snap, straight drop, has time, throws over the middle. He's got a man. It was short, and Krupp couldn't hang on to it. He had to dive for it. Would have been a 1st down, but Mason just didn't quite get it there.
Yeah, Mason Trimble threw his hands up in the air and like daggone it, and he had him. Krupp got loose on the post, and Trimble just underthrew him.
2nd down and 20. Back at the 20-yard line.
Good-looking play, though. Yeah. He dropped back. Looked in there. They were worried about Harbin. When Harbin went into the slot, the outside linebacker and the safety both went over. So if you put Harbin in the slot, that occupies a lot of guys. And Tigers have good receivers. You don't have to get it to Marlon Harbin.
They're going to find Marlon Harbin defensively, so guys should be open. And that's the way it's been most of the year. Boy, Trinity with a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. They're coming after Trimble. He pulls it down, runs to the left. He's in trouble. He'll step out of bounds after a minimal gain here and bring up 3rd down and long, give him a yard to the 21.
Yeah, Trinity brought the house that time, and Tenex picked it up a little bit, but Trimble had no time to look down the field. And Tigers only had 3 guys in the pattern, and they still came with everybody.
Gain of 2 to the 22-yard line. 3rd down and 18. Clock stops, though, as he went out of bounds with 5:25 to go in the quarter.
If your signaling plays in and Trinity does that again, I'm calling some type of screen. Let them come. All you got to do is get it to one guy.
Well, they got there quick, though.
They did. But you got to get it out in the flat, and then you got one-on-one.
Tigers taking forever to get this play in.
They're okay. They've been out there a while.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. They show it again. 6 at the line of scrimmage. Straight drop for Trimble. Throws a missile to Barbee. He's got it across the 30, but no more than that. He's hauled down. They'll give him forward progress out to the 32. It's a gain of 10, but it also sets up 4th down. And Logan Blanco and the punt team, I would imagine, will come out onto the field, and they do.
Big penalty on that rushing play, but Marlon Harbin went a long way. But where that hold was probably was the reason he had the hold. So the clock's down under 5 minutes here in the third. Blanco will be standing at his own 17-yard line. I think Trinity's coming.
Shearer deep.
They are.
Gets it out of there. He went down, but I don't think he got hit. Shearer makes a fair catch at the 35. There is a flag. Now, I think it's going to be 5 again. In fact, the referee is signaling to Kevin Wallace. It's 5 yards, and he just throws his hands down like, my punter's going to get killed, and you can't call a personal foul.
Yeah, you keep hitting him. Do you
take the 5 there? Because that makes it 4th and 4.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, you're going to punt again.
No, they declined it.
You're going to punt again, but what if they hit him again?
Yeah, but they're coming hard, and you don't want one blocked. I understand what he's doing right there. But you know what I tell the ref?
Set up the fake.
You know what I do it in basketball, but I tell you in football, I go, ref, you go out there and kick it, let him run into you, and see if it's 5 yards.
So the ball will be at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Trinity. 4:37 left in a scoreless third quarter that has the Tigers still out in front 16-3.
Under looks good, doesn't it?
Under looks good. Johnson in the shotgun. He's got Berry to his left. 4 receivers in the pattern. He wants to throw on 1st down. Looking deep. Now he pulls it down, runs up the middle. He's got some yardage across the 35, across the 40, and drilled out of bounds. He was in bounds when he was hit, though. Nate Byrne, no, that's Rocco Pointer who came up and leveled him. It's a gain of 5 on the play out to the 40.
Boy, great coverage out in the flat by Bentz. That's where Johnson wanted to go. Bentz dropped into coverage, and he had nothing. But give Zane Johnson credit for getting 6 yards on that play because he looked like he had nothing.
2nd down and 5. Berry still in the backfield. Gets a carry here. He's got the 1st down and more. He's across midfield. Luka Bentz will hang on for dear life and wait for some help. There's a flag down at the 41-yard line.
Probably going to be a face mask.
And the rugby scrum is finally stopped down at the 37-yard line. Big run from Jamarian Berry. He was a big factor early in the game, and they've kind of gone away from him here in the second half, but that time he makes a big play.
Yeah, cut back. Tigers weren't there, and then he just got up the field, and he got a little push, and that's got to be a face mask, I would think, where the penalty was thrown.
It is. You're exactly right. It'll add 5 yards to the end of the run.
Tiger down.
So it's a gain of 23. And then 5 more yards on the penalty. That's James Burnett, I think, Tony, over on the other side, far side 30-yard line, who was down on the play. A terrific cover corner. Made a big play earlier here in the third quarter. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Come back with more. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience the #1 all-boys high school in Kentucky. Experience 19 interscholastic sports. Experience more than 50 electives. Experience the brotherhood.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, and Jim, and up the middle goes Barry again for another first down. Burnett was cramping. He is ready to go back in. Marlon Harbin came in to fill the spot. In the meantime, Jamarian Barry up the middle, and he is celebrating because he got down to the 15-yard line, make it the 16-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 Trinity. It is their deepest penetration here in the second half. 3:20 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 Rocks. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And they've ridden Barry here a couple times. Now Johnson wants to throw. He had a man and missed him. It was a tight end going across the formation, Holden Schoen Jr., and he was open, Tony, but Johnson just threw it a little bit too far out in front of him.
Yeah, I tried to show that inside handoff, and it was a good-looking play, just a bad angle. It looked like Schoen was running out there in the pass, but Harbin still is in the game. At one corner, James Burnett's at the other corner.
Well, they're going, I guess it's 4 defensive backs here. 2nd and 10 at the 16. Rolling left, Johnson wants to throw, does throw, has a man open. It's Neal. I think he's out of bounds. No, they're giving him the touchdown. He must have drug that back foot. It's Jeremiah Lynn, with his maybe first catch of the night, Tony. And Trinity back in this game at 16-9.
Well, it was a great throw by Johnson. I thought the ball had sailed out of bounds. It's too far away for us to tell, but a great catch by Lynn, a great pass by Zane Johnson, and the Rocks can cut this to 6 with 3:01 left here in the third.
Hilbert in for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. He kicks it up and through. It is 16-10 Tigers. 3:01 to go, third quarter. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at St. X, John, Tony, and Jim. Hilbert's kickoff bounces at the 2 and goes into the end zone. And the Tigers will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. First touchdown of the night for the Trinity Shamrocks, Tony. The pass from Johnson to Lynn. And it has cut the St. X lead to 16-10 here with 3:01 to play in the third.
You got to answer if you're the Tigers right here. You don't have to go score, but you got to move the football.
And they haven't done that this half.
No, they have not flipped the field. They have had to punt the football. One big play called back on a hold. So we'll see what the Tigers dial up here with 3:01 down up 16-10.
Mason Trimble will send 3 receivers to the left. Marlon Harbin in the backfield. 4 on the line of scrimmage, now 5. They give it to Harbin. He runs into his own man, gets across the 20 to maybe the 22-yard line at best. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Trinity brought pressure from the outside, and again, his successes so far have been running outside, not in the middle of the line.
You're exactly right. I was thinking the same thing. That has not been effective running right up the gut. Trinity's packed that inside, get it to the outside, use some of the speed and some of the athletes the Tigers have. We'll see what they do here, 2nd and 8.
Trimble's got Harbin with him again in the backfield. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Nobody to the right. 6 at the line of scrimmage for Trinity. They're off sides. I thought they were off sides. Quick throw to Harbin, and there's a flag. It's going to be another hold against the Tigers. Marlin got out to the 36-yard line, but that flag came right at one of the receivers, and this is going to cost the Tigers 10 yards again. And you cannot keep playing 2nd down and 20, Tony.
And, John, it was the right call. As soon as Trinity brought everybody up to the line of scrimmage, they were throwing it to Marlin out in the flat. And that's a huge penalty. Flag's laying at the 22-yard line.
Trinity shot themselves in the foot in the first half with penalties. The Tigers are doing the same thing in the second half.
Yeah, when you dial up the right play. And I don't think he had to hold. I don't think it had anything really to do with the play Marlon Harbin got up the field.
Move it back to the 11, which will bring up a 2nd and 19 for the Tigers. And I expect the Rocks to pin their ears back here and come after Mason Trimble. 2:10 left here in the third quarter. The momentum certainly has shifted since the end of the first half. 3 to the right in a diamond formation, triangle formation. Cron goes into the backfield from his tight end position, and a flag comes down. Trinity may have gone off sides there when Cron.
He's pointing to the left.
When Cron decided to.
Referee was saying a legal procedure, and then he stopped and put offsides. So it's offsides on Trinity.
Yeah.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
And we've got a referee being assisted with his microphone down here as well. So a lot going on, man. They move it out to the 21, so
5 back.
2nd and 19 becomes 2nd and 14. And I think when Cron moved from tight end to the backfield, the defensive end went with him. That was the offsides. Empty backfield for Trimble on 2nd and long. Has time. Now it breaks down. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 14-yard line. Julian Carney, the sophomore, celebrating apparently his first career sack. He's so happy. 2-yard loss back to the 14-yard line will bring up 3rd down and 16. And there's not a whole lot in the playbook against a really good defense on 3rd and 16.
Well, Trinity's shown they want to come. They're trying to bring the house. Tigers just have to figure out how to get the ball out of there quickly. They did it to Harbin, the penalty, but you got to see it, and you can just throw it out to the wide receiver and hope he's going to take off with it.
Marlin's in the backfield this time with Trimble. 3 receivers in the pattern. Mason rolls to the right, has time. Now it's breaking down. He'll continue to run right, and he's hit, pushed out of bounds. No flag this time, and it'll be 4th down. He got about 3 yards on the play, and the Tigers will have to send the punt team out again.
Playing a lot at the St. X end of the field, and that's not a good thing as the clock stops at 48 seconds here in the third. 6-point Tiger lead.
Shearer goes deep, and he's going to stand at about the 50. Logan Blenko, who's been knocked down a couple times, will go back there to kick it away. And you hope he's not a little gunshot right now.
Trinity's been coming, too, so we'll see. I assume they'll come again.
Yep, they look like they're all lined up to come after it. Good snap. Logan does a good job. Good, high, deep kick. Lynn is in to return it. He catches it at the 44 and is knocked out of bounds right there. It'll be 1st and 10 Trinity. Logan Blenko with a terrific punt that time, Tony, away from Lynn, who did happen to catch it, but he was right on his sideline when he did. And Trinity will start 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, the Rocks have had really good field position in this entire second half.
Well, if you're the Tiger defense, you've spent a lot of time here in the second half out on the field. So try to get them off the field and get the ball back to the offense.
1st down and 10 for the Rocks, who feel the momentum. They have the momentum. Trying to capitalize again here. 4 receivers in the alignment. Here's a handoff to Barry up the middle. He runs right into the arms of Ethan Harris, who hangs on and waits for help, the big nose tackle. Gets into St. X, or gets across the 45 to the 47. Gain of 3.
See if Trinity runs a play here.
Bring up 2nd down and 7. They are going to line up to run a play with 15 seconds and the clock continuing to run here. Tigers here, you stay on side. They may just be trying to get a free 5 here at the end of the quarter. Johnson takes the snap. Quick throw to the right to Lynn, and he dropped it. Boy, they had some blockers set up out there. Barry was out there. Warner was out there. And Luka Benz was going to have to take on a couple of guys and try to make that tackle, but it falls incomplete. Third quarter comes to an end. Tigers clinging to a 16-10 lead. 12 minutes of football to go. We'll be back. You're watching on the Tiger Sports Network and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Third down for Trinity. Pass knocked down. Terrific play. Marlon Harbin. The pass was intended for McBroom. And a good throw from Johnson, but Harbin just beat McBroom to the spot, Tony.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pick it off. Marlon using those wide receiver instincts. I know he's played a lot of defensive back in his time, but, boy, he broke on it really well and laid out and almost got the interception. But the Tigers will force, hopefully, a punt by Carson Hilbert.
Carson Hilbert on 4th and 7 here will kick it away, or will at least line up to kick it away. Kyle Krupp is deep. The theory from Jay Cobb is our defense has stopped St. X's whole half. Let's keep the field position. High and deep, Krupp will let it bounce, and it rolls into the end zone. He let it hit at the 9, took a chance there, but it skipped directly forward and into the end zone, and the Tigers will start at their own 20. Reset here. It is 16-13, or 16-10. Don't want to give Trinity any extra points there. St. X with the lead as we start the fourth quarter. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brenkman on stats, and Gary Clark back at the studio. Beautiful night it's turned out to be here at St. X, Tony. I think the rain has stopped. You're going to be okay for the Louder Than Life show tonight.
You got to get out of here when it's over. Tigers have run 34 plays for 208. Trinity 41 for 186. Pretty even.
1st and 10. Harbin in the backfield. Trimble, shotgun. Tried to get the rocks offside. Didn't work, so now the skill players all look to the sideline for the play call.
Got some play action here. Show it to Marlon and get it out.
Trinity only 3 at the line of scrimmage here. Trimble takes a snap. Quick throw to Harbin. Needs some blocks. Gets one block and lowers his shoulder and gets 5 yards out to the 25.
Well, if you're the Tigers, John, I don't care how you do it. You got to move the chains. You got to move the chains, use some of the clock, change the field position. You hope you go down and score, but they haven't run a lot of offense plays here in the second half. Trinity's had the ball most of the second half.
Crump came up from his safety position to make the tackle, the sophomore. It's a gain of 5 for Harbin, 2nd down and 5. Marlon stays in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left, Cron tight end to the right. Or to the left, excuse me. And Shelton is wide right. Straight drop for Trimble. Looks over the middle. Now waving receivers. Has a wide open receiver at Shelton. He's across the 50. Makes a great move and is tripped up. Good defensive play, but not until Lucas. I'm sorry. Is it Ant Barbee? No, it's Shelton. He gets into Trinity territory down to the 43-yard line. They're going to move it back here, I think, to the 46. But a big play. The offensive line gave Trimble some time. He rolled, pointed to his receiver where to go, and Shelton listened.
And a great job, actually, by Barbee not throwing a block down the field. I was afraid he might try to block, but Tigers do a nice job. Trimble does use his feet, but then he does get the ball out to Shelton. And a big first down to the 46-yard line for the Tigers.
3 receivers to the right on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Marlon, running right. He's got a hole. He's into the secondary, lowers his shoulder inside the 40, inside the 35, and down to the 32 before he's hauled down. A pickup of 14 and another first down for the Tigers.
Tigers didn't hesitate on that one. That wasn't really a stretch play. That was a handoff where Harbin just picked up speed. Good job by the right side of the offensive line. And the Tigers get the ball down to the Rock 32-yard line. We got just about 10 minutes left in this football game. Tigers lead 16-10.
Tigers, of course, with the lead here. They're in no hurry. But you have to come away with points on this drive, Tony. 3 to the left. That's the wide side. Trimble takes a snap, gives it to Harbin, and he is swallowed up at the 35-yard line for a loss of 3.
Boy, you don't want to be an offensive lineman when they get tackled back here and you're standing. But, man, I watched the safety walk up, and I thought, gosh, this would be – it's easy to do it now. You're getting ready to snap it, but the middle of the field was wide open. But good job by the Rocks up front.
Jack DeBellis, the linebacker, came through and made the hit. It's second and we'll call it 12. They mark him at the 34-yard line.
Don't you assume Trinity's going to bring everybody up here?
Absolutely.
That's what they've been doing. You got to have a play called for this.
They've got 3 at the line of scrimmage right now. Let's see if they shift after the Tigers make their play call. Trimble takes a snap. It's a quarterback draw. Great play by Trinity. No gain on the play. Chopping Trimble down.
Didn't like the play called, John, because the defense was not set up to run that play. They had linebackers off the line of scrimmage, and you want to run that play when you think you're going to get them spread out, and they were not spread out. So I thought that was going to be play action right there, but now the Tigers put themselves in 3rd and 12 from the Trinity 34-yard line with just under 9 minutes left in the football game.
Cooper Yates comes in at running back. That will send Harbin in the slot to the left, and the Tigers have 3rd down and 12. Trimble wants to throw over the middle. He's got a man short of the first down by about a yard. Is Marlon Harbin. Boy, it is literally 1 yard short of the first down at the 23. What do you do here, Tony?
I think,
you got a weapon in Zoller.
It's a 40. It's going to be a
40-yard field goal in
wet
weather
conditions.
Or do you go here?
You know what? I call timeout.
Well, I'm going to try to draw them off sides and then call timeout if they don't jump.
Yeah, but you got to tell your guys not
don't
to
move.
jump.
Trimble's in the shotgun. I know a lot of people hate the shotgun on 4th and 1. He's got Yates back there with him.
They're not going to snap it.
Looking to the sideline. 7:52, clock running.
Would you do the Makai Smith play where you fake it and you go for it? That's how, state championship.
The hand is up. The Tigers are going to use the timeout here. Kevin Wallace waiting for the back judge to count, and he calls the timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's too important to go away right now.
It's way too important to go away here.
Clock stops on the timeout with 7:34 to go. All right, Tony, play head coach here. What are you going to do? Zoller's been a weapon for 3 years now. But 40 yards in these conditions, that's a big ask.
I bring Andrew in and run a quarterback sneak.
Put him under center?
Under center. You know, I'm a firm believer. I have no issue with the shotgun. But like Trinity early in the game, Johnson went under center. When you do that, and I'm not talking about on 4th and 1. When you do that during the game, it at least puts an idea in the other team's head that you might throw out of it. You know, he runs different stuff out. When you don't do it the whole game, and then you bring a guy in under center, everybody bunches up. So it's not a good play. But
I don't think you can bring Andrew in now and put him in the shotgun.
No,
because you're going to have 8 guys coming.
You run it with Trimble. If you're going to do it, you put Trimble in the shotgun, you run him up, you snap it, and you just push as hard as you can.
It is 4th down and 1 at the 23-yard line, and it is a full yard the Tigers have to get.
7:34 left in the football game, 16-10 Tigers.
Tigers use their first timeout.
You know, they say key plays, John.
This is it.
This is Alexis play.
Karsten
today.
Bush, who we haven't seen in this half on offense, is in at the H-back with Cron. There to the right. Harbin's in the backfield. Rocks have everybody up. They give it to Marlon. He's dancing. You can't dance, and he's not going to get close.
You got to run forward.
Brought down at the 26-yard line. It's a loss of 3, and Trinity will take over on downs. 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Well, Marlon trying to do too much right there. He had Bush and Cron in front of him.
Get behind those guys.
You just run into their back and push forward. And I think that's what Coach Wallace is talking to him right now. You don't have to make the great play there. Marlon's a great player. You don't have to hit the home run. You need a yard. Now, Trinity will take over at their own 27-yard line. They trail by 6 with 7:27 left in the football game.
So a loss of 4 officially on the play. Gives Trinity the ball back. Zane Johnson, another shot at it here. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Here's a handoff to Barry. Up the middle. He is drugged down. Devin Ryan, who, Tony, he's not the tallest guy in the world. There's a whistle. There's a Trinity player down. That's what the whistle is. But Devin Ryan, 5'9", 180. He just picked up Jamarian Barry and slammed him to the turf after a gain of a couple.
Little wrestling move there, huh?
I liked it.
Body slam. But he had to. He grabbed him from behind. Tigers jammed that up very well.
Tight end Holden Schoen had to come off the field. And the clock starts back up. 2nd down and 8. Bush showing blitz from the right side of the defense. Now he's backing out of it. 3-man front for the Tigers. Karsten not trying to give it away. Now here he comes. Rolling away from that is Johnson. He's got all day. Throws deep and out of bounds, intended for Warner. Terrific coverage out there by Rocco Pointer. And it brings up 3rd down and 8.
Well, what the Tigers are doing, they're not playing that what everybody complains about, sitting in that zone. When they run the inside guy out, Bentz plays him man on man, and then the other guys are playing. So they're not just letting Trinity go out and sit down in the gap. They're playing them straight up. They're being more aggressive. And Coach Wallace told us that for a year. He said, we're going to be more aggressive on defense. We can't stand back here and let teams make plays.
3rd down and 8 for the Rocks. 2 to the right, including Lynn. That's the wide side. 2 to the left. Johnson takes a snap. 4-man rush. Has time. Now rolling out of there to the right. Being chased by Tufts. Throws, and it's intercepted, I think, by Marlon Harbin.
And
it is. And the Tigers will have it in Trinity territory at the 35-yard line. He does it all, Tony.
Corey Tutt made the play, though. Corey Tutt got off of a block. He was chasing Zane Johnson, and Johnson was running from him. And when he had to throw the ball off the run, he had nothing on it, and Marlon Harbin just comes up and plays wide receiver and cuts it off, catches the ball, and goes out of bounds. So Corey Tutt gets an assist with Marlon Harbin getting the interception.
2nd interception of the night for the Tigers, and they are set up at the Trinity 34-yard line, 1st down and 10. Plenty of time left if you're Trinity here, 6:52. Unless the Tigers can put some points on the board.
We always talk about it. Do you take a shot?
I like a shot here. I'd rather have Bush and Cron in there and this time run behind them.
Well, they're giving cushion over here.
Here's a handoff to Marlin up the middle. He's got a few down near the 30. He'll be stopped short of that. In fact, they're going to spot it at the 32. It's a gain of 2. And again, running right up the middle there, which has not been very nice to the Tigers.
Well, that's what Marlon needed to do on the last play.
Yeah, 2 yards would have come in handy. 2nd down and 8 at the 32. Tigers in no hurry here. They have not scored in this second half. But the good news is Trinity only has scored 7 in this second half.
Well, Trinity right now is dropping off over here, so
3 to the right.
You run it.
Harbin in the backfield. Quick throw to the middle and almost picked off. Boy, reading it well.
Nicholas Lococo.
Lococo, boy, he saw it, got a hand on it. Never really had a chance to bring it in because he just kind of knocked it away, but a little slant over the middle. I think it was intended for Krupp and incomplete. Clock stops with 6:08 to play, and it brings up 3rd down and 8.
I empty the backfield here, John, and spread Trinity out. I put Harbin out. I put everybody out. Make Trinity spread out.
Harbin's going to stay in the backfield at least for now. Shelton to the right. Krupp and Barbie to the left. Cron is H-back to the left. Here's a high snap. Trimble brings it down, rolling to the right. Needs to get rid of it. He's in trouble, and he'll be run out of bounds. A flag comes down in the area of holding, but Trinity's not going to accept that penalty. And again, you got to know the situation. If you're Mason Trimble, you can't run out of bounds. I mean, the clock is still your friend here, even though you're only up 6 points.
We'll see what Trinity does here.
Well, I don't think they're going to take it because Logan Zoller's not going to try a 51-yard field goal.
No, I agree to that.
Loss of a couple on the play. It is declined, and it's 4th down.
And you punt it here.
Or they can do what they did earlier in the year, keep Trimble in there and kick it. Just snap and boot it, and then nobody's deep. They are going to send the punt team out.
you play safe here. You don't even have to put guys out wide in my book because Trinity has nobody deep. Well, they're going to drop one guy back. The whole key here, I would go max protection.
Caleb Ricks does go deep. Blinko boots it high into the air and is going to bounce inside the 5 and be down at about the 2-yard line. Perfect punt. Nate Byrne able to down it. And they'll spot it, I think, at the 3, and it'll be 1st and 97 for the Shamrocks with 5:55 to play.
Well, that's what you needed to do in that situation. Now your defense, who you've hung on to here in the second half and done a really nice job, got to do it again.
Tigers have had great field position these last couple drives, Tony, and all you needed was to put 3 points on the board, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's, you just had to get some yards, give Zoller a chance. You only got a 6-point lead there with 5:55 left. So
Go ahead, Tony.
Defense has to come up big again.
Worst starting position of the night for Trinity at their own 3. Zach Floyd is the running back on 1st and 10. Lynn to the right by himself. 1 receiver to the left. 2 tight ends here. Running formation. Instead, Johnson wants to throw deep down the middle, and he overshoots everybody. Good coverage on the backside there by Adam Buhner. He was looking for Lynn to just sprint down the field a la Antonio Harris of Mail, and it just wasn't there.
Well, Trinity only had 2 guys in the pattern. They had number 7, Hagan, and Jeremiah Lynn. They were the only guys in the pattern, and the Tigers did do a nice job of dropping back. Surprised Harbin's not back in the game, or is he now?
2nd down and 10. Yeah, he's over on the far side with Jeremiah Lynn. So Buhner, Dobson, Burnett, and Harbin are the defensive backs. Tigers with 4 at the line of scrimmage, and they're showing 5 here on 2nd down and 10. Did St. X come off sides? I think they may have.
Again.
And that'll give Trinity a little more breathing room out to the 8-yard line. And instead of 2nd and 10, it'll be 2nd and 5.
That's a big penalty because they move away from their end zone.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Plain and simple.
It's happened a bunch tonight.
You get the adrenaline going, Tony.
Yep.
I know it's the big rivalry game, but
discipline.
Got to keep your head. 2nd down and 5. Floyd in the backfield. He gets the call up the middle, stuffed up, fights his way out to maybe the 10. Good job, Devin Ryan, in on the tackle along with Bentz. Ekins stopped it up as well. It's 3rd and 3 for the Shamrocks. Trinity, again, just a reminder here that no reason to use them yet, but they've got all 3 timeouts left. Floyd stays in at running back, so Barry stays on the sideline. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson, shotgun. Takes a snap. Wants to throw it, does throw it. Boy, that looked like interference from Neal. He cleared it out, but he did a good job of it. Schoen makes the catch, gets out across the 20 to the 25, and a 1st down for Trinity.
Good-looking pick play. You're right, John. They ran the slot receiver, the H-back, out into the flat and had Lynn and Hagan out there blocking for him.
1st and 10, Trinity at the 25.
Under 5 minutes.
Floyd in the backfield, pistol formation, 3 receivers in the pattern. Play action. Johnson rolls right, being chased by Devin Ryan, hit and throws it away as he's being brought down. Good coverage that time by Buhner. They were looking for Schoen again, and boy, Devin Ryan just came after him and got to him.
Devin Ryan's name's been called a lot tonight. Came from that middle linebacker spot. Not a big guy, but showed good quickness right there, and Johnson did everything he could to get rid of that football and not take that sack.
Clock stops on the incompletion. 4:37 to go. 2nd and 10, Shamrocks. 2 receivers each way. Lynn is on the boundary side of the field in the slot. Johnson takes a snap, straight drop, throwing, has a man. It's Shearer. Burnett slings him out of bounds, but I think he slung him forward for the 1st down. Now he's going to be a yard short.
Kept the clock running.
No, they're moving the sticks on the other side, but they shouldn't because it's a yard short of the 1st down.
Telling him to back up.
Those are St. X people over there. You don't move the sticks for the opponent.
The official might have told him, John.
So gained out
Clock's
to
running,
the
though.
34. It's 3rd down and 1. Trinity will bring a little bigger package in here now to try to get this first down.
And it's 4-down territory right now with a 16-10 game and 4 minutes on the nose left. Clock running.
It's a under center is Johnson this time. Tigers with 5 at the line of scrimmage. Handoff. Here's Floyd. He's got the first down. Bush hangs on to him. He gets out to the 40. It's a gain of about 6 for the Rocks and a first down at their own 40.
Ball almost came out there.
3:46 to play. And again, if you're the Rocks, you got all 3 timeouts left here.
Got to have a touchdown, but a touchdown gives you the lead, too.
As long as Mr. Automatic, Carson Hilbert, makes the extra point.
Right.
Trinity's
They're not in a
big hurry here.
Still got to go 60 yards and get a touchdown.
Pistol formation.
Oh, bend but don't break.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Floyd in the backfield. Johnson takes the snap. Play action. Pressure up the middle. He throws it high and deep down the middle. He's got a man, and it's dropped. Well, Harbin got there before the ball did, but Lynn still had a shot to bring it in at about the 26-yard line, Tony, and he could not hang on.
I think Marlon might have hurt himself.
He's limping off here.
I thought for sure he would pick that ball off. When it laid up in the air, he had position. He couldn't get turned right. So he trots off the field real quick.
And there's another Tiger down, and he is in some serious pain back near the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had great pressure on Zane Johnson that time, and he just threw it up in the air. And a dangerous play for both teams, actually, because Harbin could have picked it off. The receiver, was it Lynn, John, who was back there with him? And
it was Jeremiah Lynn was the intended receiver, and it was one of those throwing it across the field plays
up in the air
from Zane Johnson.
I would have bet the house Marlon was going to go get that.
It is Eric Ekins, Tony, for the Tigers down at the 33-yard line. They're helping him up now. He is. They were looking at that right leg, and he is favoring it as he limps off.
Well, he's walking by himself.
That's a big loss, though. Corey Tutt will come in to take his place. Craig Bird will be on the other end of the defensive line.
So Ekins and Harbin both go out on defense with 3:13 left in this game. 2nd and 10 Rocks. 40-yard line of their own.
Johnson in the shotgun. Floyd to his right. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tigers with a 4-man rush here. Johnson running away from Karsten Bush, running away from the Tigers. He's going to throw it. Was he over the line of scrimmage? He was not. He got hammered as he threw it. Incomplete. Intended for Hagan in St. X territory at the 30. There is a flag, you say, Tony?
No, they should have thrown a flag. Bush was going to get him, and the left tackle grabbed him.
Well, they're moving the ball.
Pass.
No, there is a flag. I'm sorry.
Is there?
I think he may have been past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Coach Wallace was screaming for
a hold.
Well, no, he was screaming for a past the line of scrimmage. He was standing here right past the 40-yard line where the down marker is, just screaming at the official on the side.
Well, let's see the call here. It's a personal foul against the Tigers. Wow. He got hit as he threw the football. Kevin Wallace can't believe it. And neither can I, quite frankly. He was still in bounds when he got hit. Unless he got hit after that, Tony, I don't understand it. They move it to the 45 of St. X.
It's a big penalty.
Big penalty and an automatic first down with 3:05 to play. First down and 10. Zane Johnson in the shotgun. He's got Floyd with him. We haven't seen any running plays. Here's a quick screen to Floyd, and he's hit and dropped. Fought his way forward for a few yards. Burnett came up and grabbed him, brought him to the ground. It's a gain of 2 to the 43, 2nd down and 8. Clock continues to run with 2:45 to play. Tigers lead at 16-10. And I know they got 3 timeouts, Tony, but they really are letting a lot of time run off the clock.
Well, they know what they're doing.
You know what? It worked for Mayo. I'll say it that way.
We don't want to talk about that.
2nd down and 8 at the Tiger 43. Johnson in the backfield. Oh, I thought the Rocks started early. No call, but a handoff to Floyd. He goes nowhere. Ben Pinkston, Devin Ryan, Burnett came up. Bush was there. And now Jay Cobb will use, I think, his first timeout. And it'll be 3rd and 8 when we come back. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
That's
3rd down and 8 for Trinity at the St. X 43 after using their first timeout. Johnson wants to throw. Steps up into the pocket. He is in trouble, and he is dropped. Well, he thought there was an opening up the middle, but Ben Pinkston closed it quickly. It's a sack, loss of a yard back to the 44. Clock continues to run with 1:55 to play.
Why wouldn't you use a timeout if
Trinity has 2 timeouts left. Trailing by 6. They will keep the offense in the game.
Well,
obviously, with 4th and 9.
But wouldn't you have called timeout?
Absolutely. 4th down and 9. 4 receivers in the pattern.
Ball game right here.
Barry in the backfield. Johnson. Tigers showing blitz here. Johnson takes a snap. It's a 4-man rush. Throws a quick one to the wide receiver who is not going to get the first down. Shearer made the catch.
Interesting call.
In the backfield, had a couple of linemen out in front of him. I think Buhner came up and helped make the tackle, but the Tigers hold on downs and take over with 1:21 to play.
And Trinity does save that timeout they could have used. But, John, why are you throwing the ball 5 yards down the field and trying to get guys out in front?
Tony.
I'm throwing the ball at least to the down marker, trying to catch the ball. Trinity's got good receivers. They've got good players, but I do not understand that call. You throw it in the flat. You try to get your offensive linemen out there, and they got out there, but the Tigers had a bunch of guys out there, and they stopped the Rocks at the 37-yard line. So a minute 21 left, 16-10 Tigers.
A first down will end the game. Trinity obviously will use their next 2 timeouts, their last 2 timeouts. Here's Harbin with the carry up the middle, hang on to the football. He gets a yard out to the 38. Jay Cobb quickly calls a timeout with 1:16 to go. We'll keep it right here. Well, this game is far from over. I will say that. But the time management for Jay Cobb and his staff there was not very good on that drive.
I didn't understand it either, John. Yes, you got to go score. But if you don't score, you have to have that time to get the football back. And Trinity stood out there and called plays, stood around. They were not in their 2-minute
No
drill.
hurry at all. Yeah. And then, again, on the 4th down play, as soon as the 3rd down goes nowhere, you call the timeout after the sack.
I have to. I want to make sure I'm in the right play. I want to make sure whatever we've worked on is the play. And, if you get the first down there, yeah, it's a great call. But I do not want to catch the ball behind the marker on 4th down. I want to get to the marker, definitely past it.
2nd down and 9 for the Tigers at their own 38. I can't see anything other than Harbin or Trimble carrying the ball here on 2nd and 9, but we'll see.
Following Karsten Bush.
Krupp goes in motion from right to left. This time Trimble does keep it. He's up the middle. He's loose to the 50. Go down, young man. He's to the 30. He has a first down at the 20-yard line in the green zone. Read option, keeper, game over.
They all followed Marlon Harbin when they put the ball in Harbin's stomach, and Mason Trimble pulls it out, and he runs down the left hash marks all the way down to the Trinity 20-yard line, and now the Tigers.
43-yard gain for Mason Trimble.
And all the Tigers have to do now are take a knee, and I hate when you snap it in the shotgun to do this.
Trinity will not use their last timeout. 50 seconds. Clock continues to run. The Tigers will celebrate. The Trinity faithful are running to get out of this parking lot as quickly as they can, and I don't blame them.
So now, John, RPI-wise,
it's
a
huge.
huge win for the Tigers.
Absolutely huge.
After Mel beats Trinity last week.
Trimble takes a knee. Jay Cobb, I don't think, will use his last time out.
Tigers moved.
Oh, false start. Yeah, I thought Bush on the other side, so I was kind of surprised the flag came from this side.
Yeah.
Because I thought Karsten Bush moved
He did.
a little bit early. In any event, Kevin Wallace just shakes his head. He does that a lot.
Well, it's the right call. I mean, the guy moved.
He's not shaking his head at the referee. He's shaking his head at his team.
At his players.
All we got to do is take a knee. Oh, what a big win, Tony, if they can hang on here coming after those two losses, heartbreaking losses to Male and Elder.
Yeah, lose to Male in overtime on a 2-point conversion. Elder kicks a field goal at the buzzer. And now with Trinity beating Male, now St. X beating Trinity, it helps St. X a ton in the RPI for later in the year.
Trimble will take a knee here. Clock will move under 25 seconds.
They're not going to mark the ball.
Jay Cobb is not going to call his timeout here either, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. The Tigers get the big upset here tonight, and I think it's fair to call this an upset.
Yeah, I think so too. Trinity's ranked first. Trinity's only loss came up at Center Grove, a big-time school in Indiana. Tigers 2 losses to 2 really good teams. So these are 2 good football teams tonight. The Tigers come out victorious at 16-10 as the horn blows. And
that'll do it. Coaches and teams meet at the center of the field. They will award the Shillelagh Trophy. Tigers win it 16-10. We'll take a break. 3-minute timeout. Come back and wrap it up. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at St. X, a very happy St. X crowd here for the Thomas More Stadium. Tigers score on the opening play of the game, Tony, an 80-yard run by Marlon Harbin. They never trail tonight, and they knock off their arch rival Trinity by a final score of 16-10, even though the Tigers didn't score in the second half.
Well, the momentum all changed in the second half to Trinity, and they moved the football, and they got points on the board. But give the St. X defense a lot of credit, man. Trinity scored there, had the touchdown in the second half, but they stopped so many plays when the offense could not go. The defense stood up when the offense couldn't get it going, and then Trimble makes that big run at the end of the game to ice it. But the stop by the defense on that last one was just, what do you say about it? It's a really good Trinity football team. It's a really good St. X football team, too.
Marlon Harbin, 2 touchdowns tonight, and, boy, the numbers he put up were unbelievable.
They were, John. He had 18 rushes for 101 yards. 2 touchdowns. He had 13 catches for 18 yards, so he had 119 yards total with an interception.
Oh, yeah.
Playing
defense. By the way, he picked off a pass. And Mason Trimble, just Mason Trimble again.
Yes, he only threw 9 passes. He was 6 for 9 for 82 yards. He had 11 carries for 103 yards, so he had 185 total yards. But there was just good decision-making that he had the whole game. He didn't force balls. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't do those things, and that's why they won this football game tonight, 16-10.
I didn't want to bring it up at halftime, so I didn't. But for the third game in a row, Tigers didn't turn the ball over.
No, and that's huge. That wins football games for you. And that's this stretch that the Tigers are playing. When you play Male, Elder, Trinity, you're going to play a good Ryle team.
And Manual.
Really good teams. And tonight they get to walk out with their head up after the last few weeks kind of walking with their head down.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, but they get it done tonight. Now you got to enjoy it, sleep on it, have a nice Sunday, and then Monday you better come back to work because next week Ryle Raiders come down from Northern Kentucky, 7 o'clock start time next week right here at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
Yep, be looking forward to that one too.
Enjoy Motley Crue tonight.
All right, I got to get out of here.
I want to thank Gary Clark back at the studio for keeping us on the air, Jim Brinkman on stats, Brian Mitchell, and the entire crew here at St. X on the stream. For Tony Burke, John Spears saying so long. Final score here once again tonight, St. X 16, Trinity 10. You've been watching on the Tiger Sports Network and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.